Hi, everyone. We have a super exciting, super exciting session today. I've got so many things planned. I have a live AI agent that I'm going to actually show you that I made, and we're going to see how it works. It's an agent that goes back and forth and replies to emails. It's in very beta stage. I was just debugging it today, and like true story, 20 minutes before this call, it like wasn't working, and I was like, get it to work. So I got it to work for like barely a demo, and we'll do that. And we're gonna do like a digital marketing hack that makes your content newsy. We're gonna talk about LLM SEO. We're gonna talk about Replit and vibe coding and creating different tools. And we're also gonna talk about on my agenda. We have a question from a student about newsy websites and how to do SEO for those. And we'll actually look at some progress from my cryptocurrency token. We're having some investors and buyers, and there's some positive activity, and I'm very excited. So it's a super cool agenda for today. And of course, this is an opportunity for Udemy students to ask questions. First and foremost, besides this agenda, it's a call to help, for me to meet students and for me to help any students. If you're working through anything on Udemy, if you're in any of my courses, the way this format works on YouTube is I don't know who's on the call. I know there are some people on the call now. I see that there's a number, but I don't know who you are until you comment in the chat, which I strongly encourage you to say hi. Tell me where you're from, what's your name, what course you're taking. And if you have any questions, just jump in and we'll sort of go a little bit. I'll have my agenda, but as soon as anybody has a question, we'll talk about questions, because this is first and foremost to help students in my Udemy courses. And some people will be here not from Udemy, from YouTube, but most of the people will be here from it's all YouTube, Udemy. Some people, mostly people will be here from Udemy. And if you're coming here from Udemy, probably you're working on something, maybe your project, your business, your job. And probably if you're studying courses, you need help, you're trying to make progress. And if you want to brainstorm anything, it's a very friendly bunch. By the end of all these calls, we usually form a nice community. It's very nice. It's very interactive, very informally. Sally, I see you. How are you? From, wow, Australia. Super cool. Mate. And I'm not good with accents, but Australia, hello. I have some family who lives in Australia, and they're very hard to visit, unfortunately, because they're so far. So yeah, Sally, tell me which course you're taking, and if you have any questions, feel very welcome to jump in. But let me show you. While usually people kind of are a little afraid to ask questions, nobody wants to go first, but I strongly encourage and welcome everybody. It's usually a very friendly community because it's all people who kind of know me from Udemy, and it's usually people who are taking courses. So do not be afraid of asking questions. This is really your forum, and if you have anything you want to discuss, this is like the number one priority is for me to help students and get to know students and help. That's number one. But while people are getting warmed up with questions or anything else, let me show you this thing I built. It's super buggy because I'm just still in the middle of development. But first I'll explain what it is. So a lot of my courses that I teach are marketing courses, ranging from SEO to digital marketing to B2B sales or consumer sales. And many people, whether it's SEO or B2B sales, they want to do the strategy of outreach. Like, let's say a lot of people are taking SEO. Hey, Coco's music jams. Cool. I like music. I also do music from Kansas City. Very nice. Welcome. I am based in New Jersey, and I really don't admit publicly that I live in New Jersey. It's kind of embarrassing. I never thought I would end up here, but I'm here. I'm in Hoboken, New Jersey. I don't know if anybody's close to me or also embarrassed to admit that if you're embarrassed to admit that you live in New Jersey, I respect that. I am also a little bit embarrassed. I'm like, not anything good happens. Like you live in New York and then you move to New Jersey because it's like, good for family. And then nobody's ever heard from you ever again. And that's what happens to New Jersey. That's what's going to happen. I don't know if it's happening to me, but it seems to be the pattern. You're like, oh, I'm just so close. I'm across the river, but nobody's ever heard from you ever again once you move to New Jersey. But in any case, so the marketing tool that I'm building is something that a lot of students, like, they try to do outreach. So let's say you're studying SEO, and a lot of people on this call will be studying SEO because it's one of my most popular courses. So let's say you're studying SEO and you want to sell your SEO services to companies, right? Like, let's say SEO for dentists. So there are tools, outreach tools, to kind of just mass spam the dentists. These tools, it's a kind of a genre of tool. They find, let's say, all the dentists in New York or New Jersey or whatever, or in Australia or in Kansas City. And then you find all the dentists there and you get their email addresses. And then you write a pitch, a specialized pitch, and send it out. I'm sure you get many of those yourself. It's not good to be on the receiving end of that because, usually you just go delete it, and it's probably like typos in the pitch, and you're like, oh my god, like I third one today, or in my case, like they really got me. Like I think I got time today. So usually you delete it, but it's an effective method because it's completely automated, and like 1 out of 100 people reply, and so you get, it's a numbers game. You eventually get some clients. So I made a tool that's kind of like the new age for this, the new generation, or making. It's going to be so buggy that it's not made yet, which does everything with AI. So it pulls all the data, not by the old method, by web scraping, but through Perplexity API. And Perplexity is different than ChatGPT. It's an AI tool. But Perplexity's strength is that it's good at two things. It's good at reasoning and creativity, like ChatGPT, but it's also good at real-time web analysis, which ChatGPT is not so good. So I use that AI API, and I pull all the relevant businesses, and then I use ChatGPT API because it's kind of the smart one to write a really, really good pitch, not a misspelled one, but a beautiful one. And I compared it to ones that I write. Like I studied sales copywriting for many years, and the ChatGPT just beat me so much. Like he wrote like a beautiful pitch, almost made me cry. Maybe it made me cry because I thought I was jealous because it was better. But I don't know why, but it was really better. And so that pitch you can send to the businesses you find, and that will get a bigger reply rate. And the coolest part, the part that's the AI agent, is that today I connected, I gave ChatGPT access to my inbox, not my personal inbox, but the one that handles the business emails, so that ChatGPT replies. And so you no longer have to be good at sales because ChatGPT is just going to reply on your behalf. And soon, whenever I get to it, I'm going to add a voice assistant so that if a person wants to get on a call, the ChatGPT can be do the call. So you never have to call. You never have to write, like, when you write a sales pitch, like, what do I write and how do I reply and what should I say next? You never have these problems. So let me show you this tool now that I get this preamble. It's not going to work as beautifully as I described it because it's like a lot of minutia, like put this button here, put that button there. Oh, I have a bug here. I got it. So it's less exciting than how I described it because I'm kind of working through it. But let me show you. Let me share my screen. And by the way, feel welcome to jump in if you have questions or anything like that. Especially if raise your hand on say yes in the chat if you have considered reaching out to clients. Like if you do any kind of client outreach. Because this may be a cool genre of tool for you to learn about. So let me show you. I'm just going to share my screen and show you this thing. It's not going to be amazing because it's, again, early days, but at least I can show some demo. So the first thing I want to show you is replies and email. So I'm going to show you just my Gmail. And so this is this is a test email, just very basic test email that I had the tool write, and you see it's a test email, so it just says test email. And I wrote a very basic email like, hi, I provide cleaning services from homes. Do you need that, right? So pretend you're like a cleaning business and you're trying to get cleaning clients. And so I replied here, yes, I would love that. Can you tell me the prices? And usually the AI will wait like 5-10 minutes, at least in my experience before, and reply automatically, like without. So the first one is the tool. The second one is me actually replying. The third one, if it comes and there's no bugs, the third one will be AI replying automatically. So whenever you sleep, you can still pitch clients. And if they answer, you can still sleep because AI is selling for you on your behalf. And so I'll show you what I did. So I got this, I think it's this one. See, like, yeah. So here I did another test, like SEO services and, do you need SEO service, right? So the tool generated this. This is a horrible pitch, but it's just a test. And then I wrote, yes, I'm very interested. Can you please share what kind of services you offer? And obviously, I haven't trained this tool on what kind of services I offer. So it actually replied this here, this one. Thank you for your interest. I'd be happy to provide more details about your pricing options. Can we schedule a call to discuss this further? This is 100% AI written. I didn't write it. And so this is the tool. By the way, I'm sharing screen, but can everybody actually see my screen? It's always a good question to ask if people can see my screen when I'm showing screen. And I'll be showing screen, and like 20 minutes later, people will be like, what screen? So this is the tool. Hopefully it works. You see, this is like a lot of tabs here. I still have to organize all these features, but you can sort of, this is a test just to test the automation, because the automation part of it, you see what's the agent part, the automation, what's different from the past tools like this. And what makes this a new paradigm is that in the past, it was just a basic software. Here's 100 leads, potential emails, send them exactly this pitch, and then that's it. If they answer, you have to reply. And if you're sleeping, okay, you can reply. Or if you're out, whatever. But this way, the automation part is it just runs. And whenever there's an email, it answers, provided there's no bugs. It's and by the way, I wrote this without any code. I wrote this in this tool, Replit. Oh, I forgot the best part. The best part. So I'm going to release a course on this, maybe Monday or Tuesday, because I'm documenting everything. But for people who joined, who want to build something like this, I released a free part of this on YouTube. So I actually this is my YouTube, and under content somewhere, under videos today, just for people who joined today, because last time I talked about it, people wanted to learn how to do it. So I'm going to get this link. I'm going to show you how I actually did it. And I'm going to paste that link here. So that's just, if you click it, and if you watch that, like after this call, if you ever want to learn how to use the basic, this is called vibe coding or no code. Basically, I just tell it. You see, like I'll show you. On the left side is me chatting with the AI. So like, here's me. You can see my tiny picture, and it says there was some bug I was trying to fix. This is literally the last thing we did before this call. So I said, hey, on the live version of on the desktop, I'm still getting a redirect back to the homepage after authenticating. I couldn't log in right to do the demo for you. Can you check why? And you see, that's me. And then it says, oh yeah, I need to check what's happening. It opened this file, edited that file, all code that it wrote for me, like wrote 23 lines of code in like a few seconds, did this thing. I don't know what these files even are. So basically, this is the new paradigm. It's like you never have to hire an engineer or programmer again. You just do it with either like this tool. This is a popular tool called Replit. I'm not like super thrilled with it because it sometimes writes buggy code and sometimes doesn't understand me as well as I would like it to understand me. Like sometimes I tell it like, fix this thing, and it like tries to fix it, but then the thing doesn't get fixed. So I'm like, okay, try another way. It's a little dumb sometimes, even though sometimes it's really genius. Because this is like, a lot of this is like more than a day's work for an engineer, and they would charge you like, I don't know, $300, $500, but it took minutes here, and it was like $20. It's incredibly cheap for the kind of miracle that it is. It's like $25 a month that I pay. Sometimes I go over the usage, like I get a basic amount of usage and I go over just because I'm building this complicated tool, but you can kind of fit under $25 pretty well, and it renews every month anyway. So for a basic website, you don't need more than that. But yeah, you basically just tell it and you what you want, and you never have to hire an engineer. And it really unlocks so many ideas, because I only had an idea to make this, I think Monday, like this actual Monday. I was like, huh, I can make this, because I used to be a software engineer and I know how to write code, but I would never be able to write a complicated software, because it takes multiple people, like it takes multiple months, and that's all the full time. Like I wouldn't be able to run my course business, so it would just be impossible logistically. But this, I just, like true story, I did this while on a treadmill, not this particular part, but a lot of stuff earlier today. I was on a treadmill walking. I walked for 2 hours and I was writing code. I was like, hey, fix this, fix that, while getting exercise. And I don't do it while like walking the street, but either a treadmill or like one of those tracks that's like around the soccer field, that you're not going to hit a tree or step in poop or or hit a person, so you can actually be on your phone intensely, because you have to kind of read what it does and riff off what it does. So it's, you kind of have to be in it. But yeah, so I did this, a treadmill or a walking track somewhere, so you don't crash and fall, or hit a tree or something else worse. You can actually do this super non-frustrating, and you're actually getting healthier, which is the best part. And if you have some idea today, you can make it tomorrow, put up a website, super easy. You can do like 90% of your coding from your phone, and some configuration issues, you need a desktop probably, but like, yeah. Before I continue and show you the tool, does anybody have questions? I'm just going to shift to, if anyone has questions. I just want to, because it's hard for me to show stuff and then monitor the chat, because I don't know if people are chatting, but I don't see any questions yet. Is everybody doing okay? I have no idea how you're doing. The only people that I know that are on this call are people who chat with me, and I don't see anybody. So it's a little less personable that way. We used to do it on Zoom. Now I'm trying to do it more on YouTube Live. I think is a fun genre. So okay, everything all good. Cool. I'll check back in the chat in a minute. Feel welcome to post whatever you like. But let me show you the tool. I really hope that this tool is not going to be buggy, but it probably will, because it's like sometimes it's like fixes one thing, breaks another. It's like still way better than hiring an engineer. But Nick joined. Hey, what's up, Nick? I see you. All good, thanks. All right, so I'll share my screen, and I'll show you how the tool works, or at least in theory. And by the way, yeah, let me know if you had an idea for doing outreach for your business, because I am doing a little bit of a tiny beta, like invite only for people who want to use it. I don't honestly know how I'm going to do this, because it's costly for me to run this, because I have to pay for server. I have to pay for sending emails. This is like a paid service, because it's not for my email. I have to pay for like a professional email sending service like SendGrid. If you're not familiar with SendGrid, this is SendGrid. It's basically like a mass email service that helps you not end up in the spam folders, but like it's paid, so I have to pay. And then I pay for the ChatGPT API, Perplexity API. It's not bad, but like it kind of adds up. So I don't exactly know how much to charge, because if somebody fires this up and says, hey, email 100,000 people, then I'm going to wake up and like my bill is like $5,000. I don't know how it's going to work totally, to be honest. But hopefully it won't be that bad. Usually these tools, they have tiers, like some usage is the basic tier, some more usage is a middle tier, but I haven't figured it out. I have some pricing on the website listed, but it's kind of dummy pricing, honestly. I promise one thing though, I won't price gouge you. I'm not greedy like that. It would be reasonable, as long as I don't wake up one day with like, hey, here's $1 million bill for all the usage, because it's just unknown. I'm kind of just using it, because even just today, I signed up for a new API. It's like some features are just like a few hours old. Hard to know how much it's going to cost. But anyway, this is SendGrid. It's a boring screen. Let's go back to the tool. So basically, the idea is you can tell it, like, find businesses. You can find a local business like a gym, for example, like a dentist or a gym. in a radius, right? Like whatever radius you want. Or let's say you want to promote to bloggers. Like let's say it's an online business only and you want to bloggers or YouTubers or podcasters. Let's say you're trying to get on famous podcasts for your business, right? So you want to find the podcast, like let's say in the fitness niche. There's currently a bug for some reason that this niche doesn't take input. So we're going to look for local businesses and like, let's say not bloggers, but let's say gym. If anybody actually has a real business that they want to do some outreach to, we can plug in your criteria here so we can actually see how it would work for you instead of me plugging in random data. So city, let's say New York, 5 miles, and max results, let's say 5 results. Again, provided there's no bugs, we're going to find the information for this business. So it goes to Perplexity API, finds real businesses, finds their contact information. At least it's supposed to. I hope it doesn't return a bug. All right, found those businesses, right? 5 businesses, real businesses. So you can select them and click this button, start outreach. Now later, I plan to add like connect with them on LinkedIn, reach out with them on Twitter. But for now, like email is start. So we start outreach, and then you can use an existing template. At this moment, I didn't make any, at least for this account, or create a new pitch. So for creating a new pitch, it like asks you what do you want to do, right? Let's say you want to do a marketing pitch, and I'm promoting, like say, SEO services. For which business did I search for? Dentist? I forgot already. What doesn't really matter. And the value proposition is high-end SEO. There's a term, white hat, modern SEO. Let's say LLM SEO, because that's like the most modern thing there is in SEO. The ask is visit my website. We'll give it a real website. My website. It's like my business website, and the actual website is this field. Some link for them to click on is this, and you choose a tone. Obviously, it's going to be professional. It's not like you're going to be unprofessional. So generate email template. Again, supposedly, it's going to go to ChatGPT and bring you back a super smart template. That's amazing. It's not like repetitive. But again, it could be buggy because I was debugging something else all day. So let's see what happens. Sometimes it like fixes one thing, it breaks another thing. I don't know. It's a little frustrating. It's not as frustrating as hiring engineers or doing it yourself, which was horrible. Like back in the day, I was a software engineer, and I actually have a computer science degree, and I used to work for a few years as a Java programmer, believe it or not. This is like the 2000s, and I'm old. And it would be frustrating, like fixing all these issues. And if something doesn't work, it's actually your fault. Now I can like complain about it, and I'm using this miracle, AI. I'm actually talking to it, not writing any code, and still complaining. So it's infinitely easier, still sometimes frustrating. So anyway, I'll click on generate email template, and I hope it's going to do the thing it's supposed to do. So generating, it's supposed to go, it's thinking, which I don't know if it's good or bad. I hope it doesn't time out. Yeah, it's the bug. What was really supposed to happen was it's supposed to go to ChatGPT API and bring back the pitch. But for some reason, there was a bug, and it broke. So, but you get the idea, right? Like I'll stop sharing for a second, just gonna talk to you without sharing screen. So the idea was we're supposed to create this amazing pitch through ChatGPT, and then pitch. You can set, okay, once it's working and you get the process going, then you can create an automation, and the automation, which is going to cycle through people. You can say, hey, like find everybody in 100-mile radius, and then boom, 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 pitch. That's the idea. It looks like I'm probably going to have this mostly bug-free. It will just might be a matter of a few days. It's just like I'm in the middle of a frustrating day of like debug this, debug that. Why does it work on mobile? Doesn't work on desktop, but it's kind of fixable. Oh, Olympic fencing club. I see. Dry Saber. I know your name, Boris, but it says Dry Saber. The problem, I'll tell you the problem, is that this thing crashed. You see, I'll show you. It crashed. And because it crashed, oh, I see. Service contractors in Hawaii. Okay, cool. Fencing club. Okay, so this thing crashed. Okay, and when it crashed, it gave me a behavior that I know is like a little bit of a bug. Let's try to fix it. Now, you see, I'll tell you. So, okay, so for the Olympic fencing club, you're not selling to it. You are the fencing club. What you want are clients. That's not what this tool is. It will be in the future. In the future, you will be able to tell this tool, I want people who are talking about fencing in a local area, right? Like in your area, in Charlotte, North Carolina. Like maybe they're talking about it on YouTube, or maybe they're on Twitter, and you know where they are. Yeah, but see, if you know where they are, you can do outreach. Let's say that somebody's using hashtag fencing, or just talking about fencing, and you kind of figure out their geographical location. Maybe it's possible, maybe impossible with with AI and Perplexity, and then you can contact them like on LinkedIn or Twitter or wherever, and hopefully some of them are, oh, I didn't even know I can do fencing. Oh, here's a discount or something like that, right? Totally automated. Now there's a lot of challenges because if you send a lot of this automated stuff, you're going to get banned on social media. But kind of that's the idea. It's not a feature that I'm planning soon because I have to fix, as you saw, a whole bunch of bugs. But the earlier feature is so not to get the end clients, not the end consumers, but if you want to pitch businesses, like this is actually for people who want to pitch your fencing club. So if you're, let's say, a contractor and you want to find small businesses that need like improvements, like, hey, make a new door, new floor, then this is the tool for you, because then you can be like, hey, find me all the local businesses who have been around for 10 years. Actually, I don't have that criteria to search for 10 years, but then you're like, no, stuff is breaking, right? Because it's been around for 10 years or whatever. But basically you find some businesses in the local area, pitch them automatically. That's the idea. As you can see, it's buggy. Let me try one more time. I did run into a bug that we can actually fix on the fly. I'll show you how to work with it. Yeah, it's for digital marketing, and more than that, it's for sales. Like finding businesses, it's kind of like people who want to sell. Uh, so I guess it's within the realm of digital marketing, but like a little bit adjacent, not exactly, because sales is slightly not exactly the same as, but for sales outreach, this is like perfect. So this is, with this tool, you're gonna get more spam. So it's for people who are going to sell to you mostly. But if you're a contractor, this is a great, like this genre of tool is great for you. So let me try one more time. And if it's buggy, then we'll quit that tool. And next time I do office hours, hopefully it's not buggy. So yeah, so the share screen. And so this is the tool. You see, I have this bug where I go to sign in and everything's like kind of, let me actually refresh. Let me refresh just to do a hard refresh just to see. Wow, not that. Control Shift R. All right, and then so we'll sign in, and it uses Google authentication. But the problem is, you see, I have this bug where instead of authenticating me, it took me back to the home screen, which is super weird, the home page. And so I'll tell it, like, I really want to be like, hey, you dumb ass, like, why this is like the millionth time today, but obviously you want to use your best judgment and not use those language, especially with AI, because when they in a couple of years can't come to kill us, you won't be like, remember I was so nice to you. I didn't say those words. But okay, so here you would say, on the live version of the desktop version. I guess I'm using version a lot. I was able to log in, but after experiencing a crash. Actually, I should tell it about the crash, but I experienced a crash when I tried to get ChatGPT to create a template. Can you look at the logs and see what the problem and see what the error was and why it crashed? It should work same as on mobile. On mobile, I tested that feature today and it was working, which is the weirdest part. And after that, and after the crash, the system logged me out and I can't get past authentication. After authenticating me, it takes me back to the home screen. And you'll see what it does, basically. I gave it two problems, right? The crash and the fact that I can't log back in. And see, it's working. You see this little message reviewing your message working now. Okay, it needs, and then it writes a little bit of English, a little bit of code, a little bit of like tech, but it's easy to understand. It's not too detailed. Like I need to investigate the crash that occurred while creating a template and fix the authentication issue. Let me check the server logs and examine the OpenAI integration. So it searched for the OpenAI template generation code. Now let me look at the template generation route. Okay, search that file, found an email generation route. Let me add a better error handling to prevent crashes. You see, so like literally fixing the crash issue that I had. Now it's not a guarantee that it's going to fix that issue, but it's trying. See, I edited this thing. Let me turn on the light. Just give me 1 second. I'll be right back in 30 seconds. This thing will probably might be still working. Okay, this area was just getting dark and I forgot to turn on the lights. So the lights are now on. So you see, like, fix the air handling. There's a 50-50 chance it's creating some other problems because it's kind of been a little bit inept dealing with the authentication. It really confused itself. I've been really dealing with this issue today. But other than that, it seems to be more or less making progress. In any case, while it's working, it's going to stop in like a little bit, but it's still working. Let me check the chat and see how everyone's doing. Javier, what's up? What about for asking backlinks? Oh, that's a good idea. That is a good idea. There is a feature for that because I don't know if you saw earlier, I was showing you can pitch businesses like bloggers or website owners. I don't know if you saw that. There is like a pull down, like you can search local businesses or you can search for online businesses. And one of them was a bloggers, right? And that's exactly the kind of thing like, hey, let's collaborate. Can you promote me? Looking for influencers, right? Basically doing influencer marketing. So for example, like in the case of the fencing business, you might not be able to pitch businesses, but you might be able to find local influencers. And then the local influencers, you really want the local influencers. Actually, you really want to get local influencers to write about you because that today is really important for like LLM SEO. Because when there's articles written about you, especially in a local area, that's big because it tells all the ChatGPTs and all the other AIs, like when somebody asks, hey, what's a good gym in my area? And if you have a lot of activity around your brand, like the fencing business, ChatGPT may start recommending your business as, hey, like there's a lot of activity around the fencing business that Boris has on this call. A lot of people maybe don't know that Boris has that. Boris is the one with Dry Saber screen name. He has a fencing business now. Everybody's caught up with, has context of why I'm talking about fencing. So it's not building fence. It's not building fences fencing. It's fencing like, Boris, do you like my acting of fencing? How would you kick me out of your school if I did this? um, but yeah, so yeah, you could actually find influencers, which is really the reason I made that tool. Thank you, thank you. My acting needs work, but I appreciate that you didn't say anything bad about my fencing. Yeah, the reason I actually built this kind of two-tier thing, where one option is to search for local businesses, and the other option is to search for like online businesses, precisely for that um, outreach to online businesses. Because a lot of times, you need marketing, you need promotion. Instead of going to Google and be like, searching for a blogger. Okay, click on the blogger, find their email address. Okay, type their email address, write them a pitch by hand, send the pitch. Okay, next one. It's so horribly boring and they don't reply. And you're like, why didn't you reply? Well, because it's like a 1% or 2% reply rate, and you only message 3 people. And the first ones you found are like multimillionaire people who don't take pitches from cold pitches, right? And the other people are snooty and there's a small reply rate. So you basically, it's a numbers game. But yeah, it's a great question, Javier, because I'm definitely planning to have that functionality. By the way, speaking of functionality, let's see if it will allow me to log in. All right, so let's look at what happens, right? So let me share my screen again, and we'll see what the AI did now. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to look at what it did, and then see if it was inept. So I saw somebody just joined. If you just joined, what we're doing is vibe coding live, and we're debugging a login issue on my website. So here, I'm going to quickly read what AI did. It said it took 2 minutes of work, and it changed 251 lines of code. Probably charged me some money, charge $1. That's because I'm a little bit over my usage. This guy, I swear, is going to send me a giant bill one day. But anyway, so a fixed OpenAI template generation crash prevention for comprehensive error handling. This is a little expensive, by the way, for one fix. Come on, Replit. Anyway, fixed OpenAI template. I guess I can just, don't have to eat tomorrow. Just playing, just kidding. Fixed the template generation crash prevention. Okay, so that's what happened is when we created that template, it crashed. I don't know why it crashed. Added, so that's one fix it did. I don't know if it's going to work, but it says it fixed it. Maybe the fix, we have to test it. It might not pass the test, but at least it's promising. Added the global error middleware to prevent server crashes when API errors occur. Okay, good. Enhanced authentication middleware with session recovery mechanism. Okay, so that we don't get perpetually logged out. Implemented specific error handling from blah, blah, blah. Quota limits. I don't think I had quota limits, but at least maybe it's thinking ahead. Added detailed logging for debugging template generation problem, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it did that. Now we have to redeploy because that was the live website. Usually you would never do programming on your live website. You would test it in your test environment, which this tool allows, but it's kind of a little faster to do it, to see it on the live environment, because the authentication is different locally when you're testing things locally than when you're deploying things in live. So that's why I want to test it live, because I actually need the authentication to work live. And then you see the deployment takes 4 stages, like starting, compiling, whatever this thing is, and then launching. And so it's going to take a little time. See, another check. While it's going, let me check in and see if questions and how everybody's doing. Cool. So it's going to take maybe another 20 seconds probably to finish that, and we'll take a look together. If it doesn't fix everything, I'll probably just fix things on my own. I think like sometimes this AI, it's like a genius, because you saw in 2 minutes it fixed 251 lines of code. It might have been a little tiny to see it on the screen, because I did screen sharing and it was already tiny for me. It might be even smaller for you, but that's what it told me. So in 2 minutes, it changed 251 lines of code. It's impossible. Like it takes a person all day to do it. So sometimes it's like an Einstein genius, maybe even better. But sometimes it's so dumb, like it makes really silly errors. Like I bet a lot of the reasons for the crashes and the bugs is because it made a slightly different version for the mobile and the desktop, but it's not supposed to do that except only for the visual part. But I think it did that for the backend and some other error handling, which is like stupid. Like you would never do that. You only would do mobile for what people see, so it looks like mobile optimized, but not the code underneath. And so I think a lot of the problems, I basically have to tell it, make everything function on the desktop version just as it's functioning on the mobile version. And I think that will fix so many problems, but I have to first tell it that. So anyway, let me share my screen last time, see if it fixed it. And if it didn't fix it, we're going to throw it away. Because I was a little frustrated today, and I was like, if one more bug, and I'm going to switch, instead of the Replit, the next one somebody recommended me is base 44. Somebody said it's better. So let's refresh this thing. The deployment, I think, is complete. So you see it's deployed. It says deployed 3 minutes ago. And usually you get an email like Replit C successfully deployed. Good. And then we're going to try to use it. So sign in. That part works. Click with continue with Google. That part works. Now, this is the part that had the problem. After logging in, it used to spit me out. Like it would log me in, but didn't take me to my dashboard, but instead the home screen, this home page. So I hope it like takes me to the dashboard. See, it didn't fix anything. And that's why it can be a little frustrating. So you'll be like, hey, you promised me a fix. You promised me that you would fix this, but what the hell happened? And I think on that note, I'll stop sharing this. And you kind of saw what we're doing. Javier, I got your question. That's a good question. We'll talk about backlinks. Because we're kind of done with the topic of this thing, the Replit. Next time I do office hours, I will inevitably get a bunch of things fixed. I promise. Just because, it's like a little, like, it's one of those things. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Sometimes like more like a drunk person, 1 step forward, 2 steps to the side, and then 3 steps to the other side. So AI is drunk, and I just got to work with the drunk genius AI thing on my treadmill. I don't know what has my life become, but anyway, that's a different problem that I have. Like this scenario, I did not predict this, but it's not bad. So next time, hopefully, I'll have a live working version, and maybe some people can use it, because it's kind of if it works, it's exciting, because you can sell so many things, especially if you're not even the one selling. It's like ChatGPT selling for you, writing these amazing, beautiful pitches. But as you can see, there's a lot of issues. API doesn't work there. Another thing doesn't work there. And it's like all a headache. It's kind of like sometimes just around the corner to fix, but when you're in the middle of like fixing it, you're like, why doesn't it work? Why doesn't it work? It feels like so stressful, like it's never going to work. And then like 20 minutes later it works, and you're like, oh, I knew that. I've been programming for a million years. I knew that, but it's never in the middle of like a problem. Like it always feels kind of strange. Anyway, I want to share with you one thing, and then I'll answer the backlinks question. So I have this exciting thing happened. I launched. If people haven't been in my calls recently, let me share my screen one last time. So I launched my own cryptocurrency token a few weeks ago, and here's my chart. So you see it's pretty good. It's worth you see here 0.01125. So it's a little bit more than 1/10 of a penny. That's the price. And as you can see, people are buying. Like somebody bought. I know this person who bought. I know this investor who bought. And today this happened before this call. I didn't know who that was. And I wanted to ask people on the call if it was anybody on this call, because I didn't know who this was, because a lot of times it's just me promoting it. So I kind of would know who bought it. And you can see this, like this purchase was this green candle. Actually, yeah. So I had a big investor here. Then this is like automated traffic, because when I first launched it, there was a little tiny buying traffic. And one day later, this red are like tiny, but this is all automated. But then this is a human. This green candle is a human. This green candle is a human. And it's basically the candle sizes are proportionate to what they bought, like how much, right? This was like a $500 investment. This was a 100 something, you can see 127, 147, 130. Pretty good. People are buying this thing. And so that's super exciting. It's like going up. Um, I also made a website for it, the SPRK, Spark token. It's kind of like cryptocurrency for raising money, for helping creative people and entrepreneurs raise money. More about it here. Um, if anybody wants to check out more about it, I have a video that I made explaining how it all works, um, how it's deflationary, and how like people actually can earn money, and how bad dollars are. Because just you get hit with transaction fees, inflation, and before you know it, you're like, oh, instead of $1, I have the value of 85 cents. But let me so just so for your own edification, here's a tutorial about my token and like what it's all about. But yeah, that was exciting. If anybody bought it, because I don't know who bought it, that's what I was curious about it. Because this investor, I don't know who it is, and if it's somebody on the call, anonymous buyer, anonymous investor, let me know, because it's very exciting when people buy. Because I'm like, woo! Because every time people buy, the whole thing goes up in price, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. So that's exciting. And let's see. Boris, it wasn't you. I thought it might have been you. No, just kidding. Actually, I thought maybe, because you're very active in the calls and you many times. Now is actually not a bad time to buy it because it's really just worth like a penny. So if you put $1, you know, uh, I don't recommend buying for like more than $5. I wouldn't feel good, but like $5 is or $1 or $2. I think it's nothing. It's like, but it's kind of fun, almost like buying a lottery ticket and watching it. But instead of scratching it and being I lost, you can monitor it, and so it's like more entertainment value than the cost. I think you would just get it. Okay, for $1, it's a good idea. That's link that I posted in the chat. Uh, it shows you how to buy it as well. But before that, it explains like actually why it's good and how it has like real world use and all that. But actually, I'll be excited because it will show up in my transactions there, and I'll be like, "Ooh, somebody bought it! That's so cool!" I get excited about it. Anyway, and then we're to the moon, right? Then it's to the moon. Uh, okay, so let me ask about backlinks. Javier's question. Javier, are you taking the backlinks course by any chance? You can just. I know that when I talk, it's a little delayed, so I'll just kind of wait for your reply. But let me give you a whole story about backlinks. So if we go back to the good old times, the times where life was simple and and not complex, and children played outside and rode their bikes and didn't hang out on their phone all day. 2012. Okay, if we go back to 2012, the simpler times, or something like that, 2005, like backlinks, it was the thing. Like backlinks was the way that you would rank super high on Google. Everybody was after backlinks. Today, that's a different game. Backlinks are important, but like in a different way. And also like good backlinks and relevant backlinks are important, but like not many, or like, so like the strategy really changed. So if you tell me a little bit more in the chat where you're coming from with the idea of backlinks, like you can actually tell me what website you have. um, you can tell me like what you're trying to do exactly, which keyword you're trying to rank for, so that we can have a real sense and kind of create. The more you tell me, the more I'll be able to create a marketing strategy for you. But not only me, people in the chat often comment things that I maybe don't think, but people are quite now. A lot of people are quite knowledgeable here. So, um, so the backlinks, they're hard to get because you have to somehow get another website owner to link to you through outreach. It's very boring. Again, it's like a 1 or 2% success rate. You need one of these kinds of tools to do mass outreach, or you'll drive yourself crazy doing outreach. Um, but you basically want to go for like relevant, small, like medium, not small, medium sites that are in your niche, and just do brute force outreach and like just say hey, and do some networking on like Twitter and social media. just befriend people, say hi, because um, just asking for links directly, you can do it, but it's a tedious process. You can use a tool like this, but yeah, that's actually going to work because if it's automated, you don't have to deal with the brute force of it. Now, there are a bunch of errors you can walk right into and hurt your website rather than help, like going on Fiverr and hiring almost anybody on Fiverr to help you with backlinks. They're going to get you some cheap, low quality backlinks. Probably not going to help you, might hurt you. Um, not a good idea. Now, that's different from citations. By the way, I published a free citations course that you can actually use. I don't know if you already have my SEO stuff or not, but let me find it for you, because I published a few courses that are like not so popular. I published them on YouTube recently. So I'm going to get that link and I'm going to paste it for you, Javier. So I'm going to paste it here. So this is like, before you get backlinks, you get citations. Citations are like, let's say I made a fresh Twitter account and I plan to use it, but on the Twitter bio, I'm going to say, I'm going to put my website name or at least brand, and Google will read that and be like, oh, okay, citation. So I can see like +1, but a tiny, almost irrelevant vote, but tiny still kind of good, right? So that's a citation. Early on, it helps because if you're early on, well, you don't have backlinks anyway. So that's just how you get on the map of, kind of not on the Google map, but like on its radar of Google. But it only goes so far. But today, to be honest, uh, you don't need as many backlinks. You just need to be on the radar of Google. You need better content. So if you have not so many backlinks, but extraordinary content, not like AI generate me extraordinary content, and AI says, here's extraordinary content, blah, 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 and you don't read it and you paste it. I don't know if it's extraordinary, and you also don't know, or if you're in a topic that you're not expert, right? It's hard to write provocative, extraordinary content. But let's say you're like Boris, and you can write extraordinary content about fencing. Not just extraordinary that it's helpful, but it's also will be unique and thoughtful. Like, hey, here's a new technique, and here's why some techniques work against taller people, and some techniques work against shorter people. And people who have a long hands are annoying because no matter what you do, they stab you first, right, Boris? That's the worst part about fencing. It's like you might practice all your life, and then somebody with long hands, they're like, it's like almost unfair. So this kind of thing, right? And so because you might write unique, thoughtful content, Google will Google will promote you like crazy, because it's not copy paste, or even if it's not copy paste, it's like a lot of articles today. You'll see like there's a billion articles on the topic of cooking, making a salad, and 99.99999 of them are same idea. Okay, how to cook a chicken recipe. A million articles, 9.99999 are like same boring stuff regurgitated. A goal setting. Okay, 99% of the people are talking about the same thing. Nobody needs the 1,000,001 article on the same thing, but people need original, unique thoughts. When you have original, unique thoughts, if you're expert in the topic, Javier, then not only Google, but also ChatGPT and other AIs, they'll pick it up because they'll be like, hey, this person knows their stuff, and they'll recommend you. Because today it's not really anymore about just Google. It's like, how do you, because a lot of people don't go to Google for searching anymore. People go to ChatGPT for asking complicated things like, hey, what is the best way to do this? If I have this need and that need, they go to ChatGPT for that kind of stuff. And you want ChatGPT to answer. So it's ChatGPT doesn't care so much about it. Actually does look at backlinks, but it looks at quality of your content and the amount of citations you have on your brand. That goes for your personal brand or your business brand, whichever you do business under. Let me read the comment. Boris says, I wrote a blog article that Google ranked really high. That's good. Yeah. So if you write still target keywords, because that's what people are going to search, but super insightful, you're not only going to rank in the blue links, you're going to rank in all the AI answers, meaning Google pushes down the AI answer, the blue links now, and the AI generated answers are on top, and it's going to continue to be that more and more. But not only that, all the other AIs are places where people search. So people go to ChatGPT, search Perplexity, they search Claude, they search, and so those tools, they look at Google EAT. That's the acronym: expertise, authority, and I keep on always forgetting what is T. EAT. I'm sure it will come to me, or we can look it up also. But expertise and authority is the most important part. So if Google sees like, hey, you're talking about medical stuff, I hope you're a doctor, not somebody who like everybody today is like, I know a lot about health, or I know how to eat right. And so it's like, yeah, maybe, but Google will want to see. It's not like my judgment call or anybody else's. It's like Google will see, well, what is the background of this person who is creating this content, and is this content resonating with people online, and are people mentioning this person as an authority and treating them as an authority? So all of your activity online is kind of considered now. So before, you can just do SEO by SEO techniques. Today you have to get more publicity, and you have to get more like personal branding, which, by the way, because of this, I also posted courses on this on YouTube for free. Let me get you those links, because today, like publicity, getting on different shows, contacting blogs is like super important. So let me find those uh, publicity, because in a few of the courses now it's a big topic, because it's important for AI and LLM SEO. So I published a lot of this content for free, so I can always reference people to it. So this is a link about how to get publicity. It's a long course, but it's good. I used to have a client a long time ago. He had this unusual business. I don't know if it's still, it's like was 6 or 7 years ago. It was called Cuddlist, cuddlist.com. Let me see if it's still cuddlist.com. Still good. Let me show you what this business is. I'm going to post this URL. So I have nothing. I have nothing to do with this business. Some people get a little weirded out by this business. Javier, I see your comments. I'll reply in a second. But so this is Cuddlist, right? So I had this client. It's basically a service where you can hire somebody to come to your house and cuddle with you. It's not sexual. It's just for cuddling. At least that's what they say on the website. I never did this, so I don't know. But they're pretty serious about it. And there's like research about how human touch is really healthy and all this stuff. So whatever. But I had this client, the owner of that business, hired me for like a coaching session. This is maybe 2015, 16, I don't know. Sometime back in the simpler times. And I explained to him how to get publicity. And then later, like no joke, I see him in Vogue magazine, front page of Yahoo, a giant website. So I contacted him. I'm like, how did you do this? Like, this is insane. Obviously, it helps when you have such a flashy business. Like, all the news publications want to write about you, of course, but still. And he's like, I largely used your strategies. So I actually interviewed that guy, and I posted his interview in that course. I don't honestly remember if I pasted that segment in the part that I put on YouTube. So that's this link that I posted, but I put all the strategies that you can use. So like, like for example, Boris, like instead of fencing, fencing is good, but what if you were like fencing under the stars, not dancing with the stars, but you can do like a fencing with the stars, but like you're not going to get stars, so you're going to do at night, right? And that, like, hey, that's cool. That's like flashy, right? Or some quirky things, or maybe you get some celebrity, find who's a celebrity in your city, and everybody go with a fencing sword to their house and then take a picture, or so, I don't know, like some silly things, right? Or even get that person to come take a picture, and then you're like, hey, Brad Pitt is fencing with us today, or whatever, like a million different unique things you can do, but make it fun and quirky and be like interesting, so that people will be like, what, this is interesting, right? Like the kind of attention grabbing, and then you can get a lot of publicity. That's not the only way, but it's one common strategy. Yeah, I know. You see, you're doing it like you're doing it the blue collar way, like the kind of like roll up the sleeves and the honest way, right? You're like, I'm looking for parents and da 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 da, da, one by one by one. But what if it was the opposite way? What if you got on the Sunday paper? Let's say you stab somebody with your, so like, you had a fight and whatever, or maybe you were doing, like, let's say you were doing in the biggest square of the city, you were doing like a fencing demonstration, right? Flash mob, 20 fencers, pa, 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 and everybody's like, wow. And then you do something cool around it. That probably wouldn't work, but something like that. And then your local newspaper or whatever people read today would write, hey, the crazy fencers. And then everybody would know about the crazy fencers, and the parents of the children you're trying to find too. And then they're like, hey, on the website, hey, crazy fencers, but also, hey, it's like a good way to get into college. Oh, maybe they're not so crazy. First session on us, come in, that kind of thing. So I'm exaggerating, but the flashy way, so that people, journalists, write about you. When you get coverage by journalists, this amazing thing happens, that not only you get traffic, but it's incredibly good for LLM SEO and all SEO, because then all these mentions are exactly what Google wants to see, because the expertise, authority. I'm trying to. I'm killing myself in my brain. I'm like, what is T? Let me quickly look at trust. Eat expertise, authority, trust. When a lot of people talk about you, there's trust about around. There starts to be a lot of like notoriety and some trust, unless they all say, hey, they're horrible. Usually there's, with mentions, there's trust. And when there's trust, it's as though you did the old school backlinking. Sergey is on the call. Welcome, Sergey. uh go back to the hangouts so I can also go live with you. I know, Sergey. I know. I'm planning to go back to the hangouts like soon. But let me quickly get to Javier's question, because I know Javier has been super patient, and I know I've been going around in circle, because like one strategy leads to another strategy, and etc. And I was secretly kind of feeling bad it's taking too long to answer the question. So the keywords, let me go up, up, up. So Javier says, I am providing an SEO support for a SaaS company that helps the planet with equal rewards. Okay, cool. I'm paying a service on Fiverr to get backlinks. Don't do it. Until now, it seems it's working. Oh, because my rankings have improved. But do you think I should stop hiring on Fiverr? I would be so incredibly careful. So what we could do a demonstration is, um, you could, number one, tell me what they're doing for you with SEO. Like, what kind of links are they getting? Can you, if I give you my email, because you cannot post links, like YouTube won't let you post links, but you can email me and I can post links, and we can all look at the links, and we can share screen, and we can examine whether that person getting you good links or not. So let me know in the chat if you can post a few links, or share a few links, and then we'll look at what they're doing for you. So you have to know exactly what kind of links they're getting you. If you're not sure, that's a challenge, right? You have to know, and exactly the tactics they're using to get those links. If you don't know those things, don't hire, because 90% of the time, 95% of the time, they're using some easy ways to get the links that don't work anymore, because they're easy and it's overdone, and Google probably stopped making it effective. Now, the reason you're rising in the rankings can be a million reasons, largely because in addition to the backlinks, maybe the business is getting more mature, maybe the business has more mentions in general, maybe you're doing other SEO things like putting out more content, which also helps you, in the eyes of Google. So there could be other reasons you're ranking higher. The problem is we never know what was the cause unless, we do a lot of testing for correlation. It's some things that are plausible may not actually be the reasons you're ranking higher. So tell me what keywords and you're targeting. We can do a search and we can look at the back, most importantly, and also we can look at that freelancer's Fiverr profile, and we can all examine it all live. I'll paste my email here so that you can email me. because once you email me, whatever you email me, I'll be able to post it in the chat where you cannot post links in the chat. Gmail.com. By the way, if anybody likes the help, and if anybody actually wants to help, I know a lot of YouTube channels, they do like, give me a super chat, this kind of thing. I don't need a super chat because, but I know people have been on this call for a while and they like heard me talk about the cryptocurrency token that I got. I'm going to, if you want to, I'll paste the links to the cryptocurrency token just one more time. If you want to buy it, not for me, but actually for you, that would be enough for me. That I'll appreciate it. So let me paste that link. How to buy my SPRK token. So if you want to give me a donation, a super chat, instead of doing that, keep the money and invest in this token. I would super appreciate it. Now, Sergey says, cash out of Bitcoin. Sergey was also genius enough to say the same thing when Bitcoin was $3,000, and now it's $113,000. So listening to Sergey seems to be a great idea on this topic. Just saying. You certainly would be rich, or not. So that's so Javier. So I'll wait for your email if you want me to look deeper into it. If not, no pressure. But actually, since we're live, it's easier. And then Javier says, I'm paying for the service. And then Javier says, the keywords I'm trying to rank are related to environmental issues and climate change. Right. Oh, Boris said he sold Bitcoin at 105. Sold Bitcoin at 105. What was your reasoning? Because I was hoping so much it would go below 100 so I can back up the truck and get more. I was trying to buy more. It's going the wrong direction. I needed to crash, but it's not crashing. I think the economy, people are saying the economy might struggle in the second half of this year. I don't know. Oh, you needed cash? I understand that. But yeah, so I was really hoping. It's kind of like when you're trying to buy Bitcoin and hoping everything would crash. You're kind of hoping for something bad, like, a recession, a correction. Like you shouldn't be hoping for that in a way. Sergey posting stuff about Bitcoin that he doesn't know about. Sergey, just because you don't invest in it, it doesn't mean that it's going to crash or be bad. Anyway, what stocks are you buying, Sergey? Because Sergey is a big stock investor, but I don't know. He's not only a stock market investor, he's also a stock investor, like not stock market, but he's just stuck. And he keeps repeating the same thing, where it's the best. Bitcoin is like the best performing asset. Imagine 2015, you bought it for 3,000. Now it's 113. I don't even know how many percent it is. It's like a 10,000%. Not even that gonna attempt to do this live, but so that's, if you listen to Sergey, you would miss out on a 10,000% increase. So yeah, end of that point. What? Right. So let me check my email in case Javier emailed me very quickly. Not yet. I'll wait. I'll check periodically just in case. Let's see. And I checked email and now I lost my window for this. Now I'm back. So, all right. So I'll wait for Javier. Javier, today, don't over focus on backlinks. Get a little bit, but make sure they are not bad, because bad backlinks, like from kind of questionable websites from which it's easy to get links, not so good today. Irrelevant, like, you're talking about environmental stuff. If the backlinks are like about, cooking, not really relevant, right? So it loses a lot of value. And there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do. But by the way, I put another free thing on YouTube. Javier, you will actually get a lot of value from this. It's an AI tool, not a ChatGPT, like a specifically AI tool for ranking higher without backlinks. It's on page, like perfecting your on page SEO. And I released it yesterday. You will ask, why do I release? There's some some courses that I have, they're like not really popular on Udemy anyway. Like there's almost no students, or like they kind of lost popularity, not because they're bad necessarily, just because just Udemy is just, some courses just get lost in the mix. There's too many. But this is it's about how to rank higher just from on-page strategies, which is the best because you don't have to work hard with backlinks. So how to use AI for on-page SEO to rank higher. And I use this, like this is one of my favorite strategies that I win in SEO for like really lucrative and profitable keywords. It shows, that tool shows me exactly what and how to optimize. And sometimes it can write content for you, but sometimes we'll just write like, let's say you're talking about environment. What it really looks for is, well, one of the things is how deep do you go into the topic? And one of the tells that AI uses is how broadly do you cover the subject matter. So if you talk about, I don't know much about the environment, I mean, just like any other person, but like if you talk about recycling and water conservation, and you explain about the recycling codes, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, and which one to use, and then you talk about business models that are innovative and packaging that's environment friendly. So a really wide breadth of information about a topic. Google will love that. And this tool will tell you how wide you need to go and how much topic coverage you need to provide to rank higher than people who are websites that are currently ranking. So I use that tool. It's not free, but if your company pays for stuff, if it's for a company, they can afford it. There are some expensive packages and some more or less affordable. They're not super cheap, but they're not the cheapest one is like, it's not like, brah, they have a $5,000 package for like big enterprise, but they also have like something for $100-something. But I use that tool, and when I know I'm gonna do like a lot of SEO, I just buy it for like 1 month. It was $150 or something, and I run all my pages through it that are important, optimize my pages, and just I kind of cancel my subscription after that. But that's that tool, and so you have a lot of stuff that you don't need backlinks. There's so many replacements for backlinks that like obsession with backlinks was 2008, 6, 10, 12, but it started going down. So don't worry about that part as much. And today, be more careful, because imagine you do all this hard work, but like, one crappy backlink, okay, two, okay, seven, okay, 10, okay, 50, maybe okay. Then you start scaling the backlinks, and like Google's like, hey, you're doing automated spam at a scale, penalty, right? Because there are penalty for bad links. It's called the penguin penalty and other penalties. There's like legitimate penalties for bad links. So you don't want to get penalized for that. And so be extra careful with the kind of links you get. Now, quickly, while I'm waiting for Javier to message, let me look at my agenda, because I had so many things planned for this call that I just want to check where I am in my like total agenda. So we talked about other stuff, but we can also talk about, I did this digital marketing hack for this call specifically. So what I wanted to do is talk about newsy content, because a lot of times, like, people talk about there's like, when you're creating content, there's like two things you can do. You can create newsy content. They can have a chance to go viral in the near term, or evergreen content that hopefully is popular in 30 years, hopefully, right? And I mean, AI is going to get rid of us before that, like, but hopefully, if it didn't, if it let, whoever is nice to it, maybe will keep some people around. Anyway, I digress. So people always like, there's kind of a preference for evergreen content, at least traditionally by SEO people, because if you want to take all this time to get your website to rank, you want to have it ranked for a keyword that's not going to be unpopular later. Like if you talk about any sports athlete, right? They may be retire in a couple of years, right? Or just not good enough or whatever. So not that's kind of newsy. Sports is newsy. Every day there's something to talk about. Little longevity, right? Like that's one example. But if you talk about nature, nature is all evergreen, right? Like trees are like, well, a lot of nature is evergreen, is always the same, but a lot of nature has a lot of news, right? Because whenever people like talk about, hey, there's this like new way to burn coal that's green, that's news. Next day, somebody comes out, no way, burning coal is so bad for the environment. Here's a scientific report from Harvard. Oh, now this news. Next day, somebody comes out, no way, coal is great. Next day, somebody comes out, no way, coal is bad again. So anyway, right? So it's like there's news. Every day there's news about, this material is good, now it's bad. This packaging is good, now it's bad. So the newsy content, you can actually create newsy blog posts and YouTube videos that, in theory, if it's newsy, what's going to happen is you can get a big spike of traffic if it really hits. Bigger spike than traditional content that's evergreen. But that spike will crash. So you basically get a spike for a day and you're like, wow, yes, all this work has been worth it and we're getting traffic. But then the next day, your traffic chart goes down almost to the same level as was before. But you got all that traffic. Now, for blogs, that traffic is that traffic. You might have earned a little bit of money with ads. You might have sold a few things that day. You might have got some email signups, but there's no longevity. As opposed to evergreen content, there's no spikes. But there's always a little trickle, always, right? Because you're always going to rank in Google for that keyword. And so the experiment they did is, what if I did the SEO for this particular call? Because I have like a description for it, right? So let me share my screen and show you how I tried to make it newsy. I went a little bit overboard, but I wanted to do it so that I can see if this particular call that we are doing now is going to get shown to people around YouTube as newsy. So let me share my screen and show you what I'm doing first of all. So it's like a hack just so that live. So this is the description and title for this call. As you can see, I put a lot of content here like SEO news. You see news, business news under hashtags. Sorry, what did I do? Let me find this live. Here it is again. So you see under hashtags or in keywords, I put like, newsy things like Elon Musk. We're probably not going to talk much about Elon Musk, but Trump tariffs, we can talk about Trump tariffs, but this is stuff that's in the news now. That's why I put it there. I put like custom GPT AI agent. It's kind of a newsy topic of the day. I put business news. Like, we're not going to really talk about business news unless, see, I have it prepared. Here's the website with business news, like literally says business news, although this is more business like stock market rather than entrepreneurship. And then I have SEO news right here. So we can pick topics. This is a great SEO news website. Sometimes super boring, but if you're doing SEO, it can be okay. So I've got those two. So we can look at topics. And that's actually what I did. I picked topics. Like, for example, the topics were kind of dumb. So we can talk about like Delta shares jump, right? That's like something that happened today. So my experiment was Trump tariffs, to see if I discuss the Trump tariffs, if I start getting discovered on YouTube for that keyword, or Trump or whatever, Elon Musk, probably not, because those are too big of a topic. But that was the idea. Now, let me see. I'm going to try to share my screen like incognito window so we can get a real picture. But I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. So I'm going to try to do the incognito window now. Are you able to see can you comment in the chat? Are you able to see my incognito window? So I'm going to go to YouTube in a totally fresh incognito window. And I'm going to talk about Trump tariffs. And what happens in the perfect marketer world, whatever channel is live at the moment, it's going to get more visibility at the moment. Now, as you can see, it's not showing me. Why doesn't YouTube love me? But it's supposed to. The only problem is that this topic is too big and my channel is comparatively too small. So I'm too much of a small potatoes. Um, but the live shows, they do get priority in search. So maybe we should have done like a easier search. But let me quickly, does anybody see my screen when I did it? Screen sharing. Let me see if I have a better topic. Like, let's see, business news. That's also a big topic. I think you got to choose your topic super careful. What if I do custom GPT? That's a cool topic. That's custom GPT AI agent. So that's something that I optimized my call for. And again, I have no love from YouTube. Why YouTube doesn't? YouTube, can you go back to love me? So ideally, see, it's already getting kind of bad videos, right? This person only has like 500 views from 3 months ago. So it's not like I'm competing with great videos, but I am not getting promoted, which is bad. What if I do something for my hashtags? That's the thing I need to unlock is that, let's go SEO. Let's see what my hashtags are here. Let's go vibe coding. Let's see if we can do this one. Vibe coding. Right now, this is a fail demonstration. Not fail, but like, why doesn't it? Vibe coding. I should come to this, I appear on this hashtag, and YouTube just doesn't love me. Why doesn't it love me? I maybe if I was number 20, I can understand, but even so, like I'm not even number 20 and I'm live. So I think it's because, that EAT, right? Expertise, authority, trust. I just haven't accumulated on my channel enough expertise, authority, trust for YouTube to start recommending me, to be honest. I think that could be what's happening. Now, what I could do is like LLM SEO, because I do have more trust on that. Let's see if it's going to show me. No. This is like really sad. This is a course that I published. No, this is just a standalone video that I published. But this is really sad. Like, come on, YouTube. Like, give me a little. This is another course. No, that's just a single video. So I am here, but I'm like not really high up. But my current YouTube is not here. So this is a bad experiment. I quit this experiment. What was supposed to happen is it was supposed to show this live stream to all the people who maybe would just search for this kind of a thing, and the live stream would be kind of promoted more. But I think I just need to build up my channel more. Maybe the channel, like I have around 40,000 subscribers on this channel, but most of them subscribed 10 years ago, because that's the time when I was really active on my channel. And I didn't have almost any activity on my channel for like 10 years. And because of that, just like YouTube stopped recommending me. Like it's almost treating my channel as like a new channel. So even though it looks like legitimate, I have like 4 million views on this channel, and some videos are actually, a lot of videos are getting traffic. But as a, EAT, expertise, authority, trust, I'm just not getting there, right? And if I talk about like Trump tariffs, I just don't have expertise, authority, trust on that topic. So it's probably smart of it to not rank me, because then it would be so easy to trick. Now, Javier, I saw your comment. Let me okay, can I post? I'll post so everybody can see. So this is the Fiverr person that Javier hired for SEO link building. I don't know anything about this person. We're gonna all go there together. And then this is the example of a blog post or a link. Let's see. So that's the other thing I'm gonna post, and we're gonna all do this live demonstration and debug it all, or investigate's the right word. But before that, let me get a little drink. I found this from Trader Joe's. If you're United States, Trader Joe's sparkling water. I think it's a sign you're getting older if you're drinking sparkling water. I'm having like too many signs. Everywhere I'm look, I'm like, hey, this is a sign you're getting older. And more water. Okay. So let's go to that Fiverr link, and let's examine Javier's freelancer to see what happens. I'm going to go there and I'm going to share my screen so we can all take a look together. But before we do that, as a true nerd, I'm going to check my cryptocurrency token. Still same, no further trading activity. I've been refreshing this thing like obsessive. OCD. I'm like obsessive compulsive. Refresh. Let me share my screen and we'll go to that Fiverr seller. Dum-da-dum. Okay, so why didn't it go there? Did I not copy it right? Because I copied it from YouTube. Okay, let's go there again. Now with the correct URL. So here we go. Ta-da! Okay, backlink B. Cool. So backlink B, we're going to see what's happening. So I'm looking, first of all, for reviews, a good amount of reviews. A good amount of them are 5 stars, 4.9 rated. Great. Now on Fiverr, reviews are hyper inflated. If I search for SEO, everybody's going to have 5.0 or 4.9, right? 4.9, 4.9. Wow. How can it be 4.9? 4.9? Nobody is 4. Nobody's 4.8, right? So these reviews is kind of like reviews. I mean, they're real, but the system is just hyperinflates it. There's no way statistically. By the way, I used to be a long time ago seller. I had over 2,000 orders, so I also had a 4.9 or 5. So I know how it happens. The way it happens is you have to just please the pants out of your clients and don't complete your work until you've really please them, which is really the right way to go. That's the right thing to do. But that's kind of how reviews get skewed, because what's the difference? Everybody has the same score. In any case, we're not after that. So at least good score, good number of backlinks, good number of reviews. That's the first thing I would look for. Next, I'm kind of trying to gauge how spammy they might be, and that might tell me what they're going to do. So let's read it together. Let me just see if anybody, I'm going to check anybody can see my screen. Everybody with me? Let me know in the chat. Right? Every once in a while, I check the chat just to see if everybody's with me, but it seems like I'm sharing screen. Now, let's read it together. I'm an SEO expert. I do. Specializing, rocket ship for sure, to the moon. Specializing in complete SEO service, on page, off page, optimization, guest posting, tiered backlinks, and forum links. Now, forum links will get is it doesn't work. So that's a -1 with 1,500. Like forum links is something that a spammer would do in 2010. Go to a forum and only post for the purpose of getting your link to, in your bio of your post, it will say your link. So, it's spam strategy. I would delete this, to be honest, and everything else sounds like it could be feasible. But so anyway, with 1,500 orders completed and stellar track record, yes. Backlink B is your partner. No name, just backlink B. For SEO link building, why link building capitalized? It shouldn't be, but I mean, it doesn't matter. But in case you write your stuff any time, run it through ChatGPT, make sure there's no grammar issues, which this one is not written badly, but still. Anyway, by the way, backlink B, they misspelled their own screen name. They have a space in their backlink B. So if you don't write your own brand correctly, that's a little bit of a weird thing, right? Like, I can't even say, hey, they're bad at grammar because they invented this grammar. It's like they made it. oh, he discriminates against people's second language. No, they made this. But the thing is, it's not about that. It's that higher end buyers will see grammar errors, and grammar errors are highly discrediting. So you lose a lot of people for no reason when you have grammar errors. Today, you don't even need to do anything like this. You just go to ChatGPT and say, can you rewrite this in a much better way? So let's actually do this. Just for us. Like for educational purposes. So we read what they wrote about themselves. Let's see if ChatGPT is better. Already better. I'm an experienced SEO specialist, right? Because most people won't read past a few words of this. So experienced SEO specialist, it looks like it's using honest, sincere language, not like over spammy. So it comes across experienced, professional, and sincere, offering a complete link building services, including on-page SEO, off-page optimization, guest posting, tiered backlinks, and high authority forum links. With over 1,500 successful orders and more than blah, 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 I've helped businesses across industries. Yeah, I would say across industries improve their rank. I would list the industries maybe, or across many industries. It reads a little weird across industries, but whatever. Whether you're a small business, blogger, e-commerce, or so this is qualification, right? People will wonder: is this good for my business? Is this good for a blog? Is this good for e-commerce? Well, yeah. He see. So this is actually this is a high conversion line. Like this kind of a thing will actually improve your sales conversion rate. If some blogger is coming to you, and you say I help bloggers, of course. This green checkmark thing, it's nice to kind of break up the text, and a call to action. Okay, let's build powerful links. I like powerful links. It's meaningless, but it still kind of sounds good. Order now. Okay, call to action. So this is infinitely better than what this person wrote. So today, this is not the question, I understand, but today you would never just write some copy, especially marketing copy, by yourself. You write it, but then put it through ChatGPT and get good ideas from it, and then use it for your own writing later. In any case, this is not informative. I just I kind of need more. But this forum links thing is like a yellow flag, like not a good yellow, a bad yellow, and maybe a red flag even, I would say, because you don't know what these things are. Like, what will they do for off-page optimization? What would they do, right? They don't say. So you have, during the sales process, before you hire them, you would have to ask them, what are you going to do for the off-page optimization? And if they say link exchanges, forum posts, you don't hire, because they're doing strategies from 2005 which no longer work, and furthermore get you penalized. So that's this particular person. But I don't see any other information that would tell me otherwise. Maybe they're good, but I don't just see any information otherwise. Now, portfolio, guest posts. Let's see what they're doing. This looks like many pages here. So I don't know how to read this. I don't know how to interpret this. This is them promoting themselves. Installation of commercial solar panels. Javier, is this for your business? Guest posting. What I wanted to see was one screenshot that I thought I saw, but never mind. Basically, a person like this, I would quiz the bejesus out of them, and I would get them to tell me exactly the strategies they will use. And if I don't like the strategies, I'm not hiring them. That's what I would do. Token question. Oh, the best question is a token question. Javier, I have more to say and more to explore with your the business that you asked about, but I gotta answer the token question first. Can I buy your token using Gemini or Coinbase? I have those two. So Gemini is an AI tool. I don't think that you can buy At least I didn't think that you can buy cryptocurrency on Gemini. I think it's just a Google AI tool. But let's say Coinbase is a good question. So the way this works is I really recommend to watch that video that I sent, because the video explains it in detail, because it's a little complicated to buy it. Because you see, on a website like Coinbase, you can only buy like the major cryptocurrencies: Solana, Bitcoin, XRP, a bunch of others, like the top like 100, top 200. Obviously, as much as I would like it to be true, mine is not top 200. Not only that, mine is built on the Solana blockchain. So you need, you see, basically there are sites dedicated to what's called altcoins or meme coins. That's where you can buy. My coin is on altcoin and meme coin sites. It doesn't mean that those sites are bad. It's just where the little coins trade, because little coins can get to. I see. So probably not Gemini, because if it's a mainstream site, little coins aren't traded there. It's just not a thing. So the best thing to do, the advantage you have on Coinbase, which you already have, you can buy my token with USDC, which is a stable coin pegged to the dollar, 1-to-1. On Coinbase, even though for most things Coinbase charges unnecessarily high fees, they don't charge unnecessarily high fees to buy USDC. It's free to buy it. So what you would do is buy your USDC, however much you want to invest in my token. That's how much USDC you buy. And then you get a tiny bit of Solana, like literally 10 cents worth, because the transaction fees is going to be paid in Solana, and Solana is so super cheap to send money. Like, if you send money on PayPal, they charge you 3 or 4%. If you send money on wire transfer, they charge you $20. If you send money, pay with credit card, they charge you 5%. Imagine a payment system charge you 1 penny. This is Solana. This is why one of the gigantic advantages of cryptocurrencies. And then it's deflationary, because I can pass the savings on to consumers if they pay with cryptocurrency. It's one of the things, because on dollars, even though the dollar is the best currency in the world, it's still horrible, because everybody has a hand in your pocket, right? Like, not only before you get your dollars, first you're taxed on it. Then you go to the grocery store, you're taxed on the dollars you already got taxed on. Even beside the point, if you pay with anything, you're going to get charged 3-4%. Okay, great. If you raise money on Kickstarter or something, 5% they take to take your money out. And then inflation is like real inflation above 5%. It's very funny about inflation, because technology is deflationary. It gets cheaper, so it skews how they measure inflation. But if you don't measure, if you take out the deflationary facet of technology and many other ways they manipulate that number, is real inflation is like 5%. So basically, long story short, if you account for all the fees, blah 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 blah, you basically are left from the get-go with like 90% of your money, which is one of the main. You probably already know this because you already had Bitcoin, but this is one of the main like benefits of cryptocurrency. It's deflationary very, very much. You can make more even if your cryptocurrency doesn't go up in price, which actually it usually goes up in price because it's measured in dollars, right? And the more the dollar gets devalued to buy the same thing, you need more dollars, so the price goes up because it's measured in dollars. Same why every asset class goes up over time. Anyway, that was a diversion. So the real thing I wanted to explain is you need the USDC stablecoin, and you need a little bit of Solana. Once you have that, you need to set up a online wallet that's Solana compatible. I use the Phantom wallet. Phantom, I think it's .com. Let me just double check. Phantom wallet. Yeah, phantom.com. So it's one of the more trusted Solana-based cryptocurrency wallets. So that it kind of, you can just basically get a browser extension, download the browser extension, create an account, super easy. And then what you would do is you can actually uh, you send your USDC and your Solana to your Jupiter Phantom wallet. And actually, yesterday, I was trying to walk a person through how to buy it, and they were able to swap the USDC on their Phantom wallet for my SPRK, and that's the end of the transaction. That's it. Now, to buy the SPRK, you need the mint address so that you don't by accident buy the wrong thing. Let me send you the mint address of that token. It's kind of one of the important things. Mint address, mint. This is the mint address. This is basically how you find my token in places. This is the mint address. Like, because, like, Bitcoin, it's like BTC. Uh, Ethereum, the ETH is ETH. XRP, it's XRP, the big ones. But the little tokens, you see, there's more ticker symbols than cryptocurrencies, because it's all like 4-letter mostly ticker symbols and 3 letters. So a lot of the ticker symbols overlap. Like, I can make my own BTC. Nobody's going to buy it because the people are going to obviously be the one that's like, hey, the one that's 113,000, not the one that's a tenth of a penny. But I could, in theory, make a BTC. So that's why you want to, with smaller tokens, you want to find them by the mint address, so there's no confusion. And once you get it, that USDC stablecoin and the SPRK token, sorry, but not SPRK, and a little bit of Solana, right, to pay for the transaction fee. Then you can buy it. I think you can swap it right in the that Phantom wallet. By the way, Sam, I see your comment in the chat. Sam, were you here earlier in the beginning of this call? Because in the beginning of this call, I was showing this tool that I think will be super useful for what you're doing. But by any chance, the first hour of this call, were you on the call? Because it's exactly what you need, because you can use your SEO. You can use a tool. I'm building a tool to promote different kind of services to businesses. You were on the road. You know what, Sam? I really recommend, when you get a chance, like after this call, watch like the first 30 or 40 minutes of this call, but in the beginning, because I'm going to show. I showed a tool that I'm building. I mean, I'm using AI to build. I shouldn't take the credit. To create an automation tool that goes out and pitches businesses. And it's like a tool that I'm going to be able to let people use. Right now, it's a little buggy. I'm still developing it, but I'm planning to kind of open it up. I have to charge a little bit because, it has a million fees, like Perplexity API fee, ChatGPT fee. It's all connected in there. It like uses ChatGPT to write your pitches to businesses. So and uses ChatGPT to carry on the sales conversation. So you don't have to do the sales, because the ChatGPT will do this. ChatGPT will reply, like the software will pitch clients will reply, and instead of you replying, ChatGPT will reply on your behalf. I actually enable ChatGPT to take over an inbox, something like that. So that kind of a tool where you can just sit back and it does sales for you. At least it doesn't work perfectly now, as people saw on the call. It's super buggy, because I'm literally these days, like during the day, I was just programming this tool, and by programming, I mean like I was telling AI in words what to do for me. Same difference. But that kind of thing, when I was creating this tool, I thought it would be a good tool for Sam to use. It's not really commercially ready to use, and I'll probably just try to make it super cheap. I can't make it free because there's like 4 different things I pay, like the email sending API, ChatGPT API, Perplexity API server that I have to pay for. So the more it's used, the more I kind of lose money. So at least I can't totally give it away for free, but I don't plan to make it expensive at all. So that's that's the tool, and I thought what you're doing, Sam, is a good fit. So I'm glad you're on the call. Also, Boris, did you have any luck with the Phantom wallet, because while we're on the call, I can help you debug this thing. Let's see what else. And by the way, if anybody wants to put in $1 just as an entertainment value, I think that'll be fun. I think like the best entertainment, like gambling, is like where you get the most time entertained with the least amount of money paid. And horse betting, it turns out, is Boris created the Phantom wallet. So in the Phantom wallet, yeah, horse betting is like it's considered to be the best investment because you spend a long time having fun compared to the amount of money that you lose. But if you put $1 into SPRK token, you get a lifetime of gambling with $1. I think it's better than a scratcher ticket. Where a scratcher ticket, you know right away you lost. It's not so fun. So this is a good gambling. This is where we devolved. It's like we're doing gambling. But very quick, Boris, if you have the Phantom wallet, now send your USDC and like 10 cents or 20 cents worth of Solana to your Phantom wallet, and let me know when you've done that, and I'll tell you what the next step is. You're super close. Okay, what were we talking about? So we're talking about, I wanted to look at Javier's. I hope Javier is still on the call. The other link he sent, SB partner hours. Is this the S partner hours? This is not your business, right? This is a place where you got a blog link from, correct? I'm going to assume that's where you got the link from. It's a bad site. Let's look at it together. Let me share my screen and we'll look at it, right? If people who are just joining now, by the way, if you're just joining now, there's like super exciting things happening. After this call, go back to the beginning because we looked at like AI agents that I built that actually is meant for people who are like my students in my courses. And by the way, if you're just joining now, if you're a student in my courses, feel very welcome to introduce yourself. Let me know where you're calling from. If you have any questions, this is really a call for you. First of all, I appreciate that you're on this call and I appreciate that you're in my courses. So this is really a forum where if you have any questions, any struggles, this is the number one priority of this call is to help you. So don't be shy. It's a super friendly community. We only had one spammer, but he was my friend. Actually, he came to make fun of me a little bit. It was somebody who told me to like, hey, sell Bitcoin, whatever. But he left, I think. Sergey, are you still on the call? I wouldn't even say it was spam. It was more like heckling, but it was friendly. I like having Sergey on the call. Sergey is also like a long time Udemy instructor as well. But in any case, so what we're going to do now for people who join, yeah, feel welcome to post your questions. I monitor the chat. I see everything in the chat. I see it. But what I'm going to do now is share my screen, and we're going to look at the link that Javier got from that site and see if it's good. So I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to look at that together. So here's the link. No, that's the Phantom wallet. We can turn that off. Here's the Fiverr person, which I wouldn't hire without quizzing substantially and like for specifics. Now I'm trying to find this, I believe, the blog post that contains a backlink to the company that Javier is working for to get links. Now, I don't see backlinks. This is EDU Writer AI. I don't think it's this company because it's about writing. So where is the blog post here? I see it's about EDU Writer. It's also mentioning EDU Writer here. So it's like heavily citing that thing. EDU Writer. What is EDU Writer? Because it's on this like EDU Writer review, but there's no backlink to anything except EDU Writer, which tells me this is not Javier's website, EDU Writer. Javier, can you explain this, please? Because I'm confused. So we'll pause this because I got myself confused. Because Javier works for an environmentally focused website, so I didn't understand why there was this EDU Writer and who owns what. And I just need a little more background, and then I can not sound like an idiot. Which is super helpful. Let me drink a little water and then. Oh, you found my token. All right. So Boris found my token. Awesome. So by the way, I'll tell you before you buy anything, Boris, very careful. When I was minting this token, I made two of them, one as a test, but it's also SPRK and it's also kind of like same logo and all this, right? So just make sure that the one that you found is by the mint address that I used, which is probably how you found. Don't type SPRK. Use the mint address that I sent. And also you can verify it because the price is 0.001125 or very close to that. Different exchanges have it slightly different, but like 0.001125. And once you buy it, you see we can monitor. Like we can actually monitor. I search using mint address. Perfect. Then it's not going to be a mistake. So whenever you swap it, you see I'll share my screen and we can actually watch it on the exchange. So this is like one of the places that where you can tell what's happening. So you can tell somebody bought for $130 2 hours ago, like right before we jumped on this call. And I was like, who is this? Is this somebody who's going to be on this call with us? But so far, we haven't investigated. And as soon as you exchange your USDC for my SPRK token, your transaction will show up here. And this green thing, this chart will change. And then you will be forever written about in the history of the trading history of the token. By the way, this token, I have two ways, well, three ways, honestly, that people can make money. So if anybody on the call wants to invest, hear me out. First of all, you see it launched at this price, meaning it can never go below this price. So this is literally almost the cheapest it can ever be. So it's hard to lose money on this. But that's not really the reason. The reason is that, well, I'm actively trying to find buyers and doing all kind of marketing, and every buyer kind of, the price kind of goes up. So far, it looks good. But there's two ways that your money grows with this. Number one is I'm going to provide airdrops. Airdrops in the cryptocurrency world, you can think of them as stock dividends, except stock dividends are not free. Whenever there's a dividend in your stock, let's say 1%, you get a 1% cash, but then the actual stock price goes down a little. So you just got cash, but you didn't actually get more value. The company didn't gift you that, it came out of the stock price. But with airdrops, actually it is a gift. So when I minted this coin, I allocated some tokens as a reserve. So on a semi-regular basis, not on a regular basis, because then people would time it, on a surprising basis, but like annually, I'm able to give an extra 1 or 2%, whoever, right? So early investors will get some good, what's the word? Airdrop. So that's one. So think of that as like a better than a dividend. And the airdrop will be in the form of just more SPRK tokens that you can keep more or sell more, whatever you want to do with it. So there's going to be airdrops. And soon I'm going to introduce another, this is a very, very common thing in cryptocurrency called staking. So staking is, think of staking as putting your money in a bank CD, except in a bank CD, you actually lose money because let's say your bank CD gives you 4% interest rate and you think like, wow, at 4%, I'm making so much money. But if a real inflation is 5% in a bank CD, you're just losing 1%. That's really what's happening. Or worse, it's not always you get 4%. Because the real inflation is not the inflation that people report in the, when the government reports inflation, that number is highly manipulated. In fact, if I did an experiment, I made a video. I'm going to find this video here somewhere. I think I can find it here. I did it with ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT, what are all the ways that the government manipulates inflation? and I made ChatGPT count like, well, it does this, and then it does this, and then it does this. So this is like real versus reported inflation with ChatGPT. So it's not me calculating, because I would make mistakes. For sure, I would make mistakes. But this is like real inflation calculation with ChatGPT. If you're interested why I keep saying real inflation over 5%. So let me come back. That was a little bit of a segue. Where am I? So we were looking at whenever Boris exchanges the USDC to the SPRK token, we'll get a transaction here, which will be super exciting. But I was talking about the staking. So staking is like putting your money in a CD, but I just explained the CD, you lose money in a CD. You don't lose it as bad as doing nothing, because then you lose value at approximately 5+% year over year, depending on lifestyle, but kind of like that. So just holding like a paper money, it just loses value of 5% every year. So if you ever want your wealth, or you want all your money you worked for to be worthless, you hold dollars, or worse, any other paper currency. So the CD is like the first step in personal finance, because it does protect you a little bit, and it's relatively risk-free, or mostly risk-free, which is like incredibly risk-free. But the risk is you're going to lose 1% approximately, right? So that's it. That's the risk. You're guaranteed to lose 1%. It's kind of like that. But the difference in cryptocurrency staking is it's not like that, because staking also, like let's say staking, you earn 4% with the cryptocurrency, but maybe the inflation rate, the real inflation rate is actually real inflation that's posted, because you cannot manipulate inflation. Whatever the inflation rate is here, it is the inflation rate. It's not manipulatable. The way people inflate cryptocurrencies is by creating a larger supply, or putting more tokens into the pool, from a reserved pool into a trading pool. I can do that, but I don't plan to do that. And I plan to have staking rewards. Right now, staking is not available on this, because I have to set it up, and it just launched. But ultimately, I have an ambitious plan to set it up in August. I'm not sure if I will get there, but at least I have a plan. So by staking, you can choose the staking, and also you don't have to, on a CD, you put money on a 3 months CD, 1 month CD, a 12-year CD. Here, I think it's like 7 days or something. So you can get your money out pretty quickly, and but you can get actual returns that outpace the inflation of this token. So this token is really like, all cryptocurrency can be quite deflationary. You got to be careful, because some cryptocurrencies, like, they give you 20% staking rewards, but the inflation is super high because they're printing more of that token. So you got to be careful. This why in this case, like, I made it specifically with a pool allocation, so that it's deflationary. You actually can earn more, and the staking is considered a passive income, that you can earn more, provided that whoever created the token doesn't rip off the investors, which I have no intention of doing that. It's like a long-term thing for me. So provided that the creator of the token is not like scammy, and rips off the investors, not so much scammy, but just like greedy, then it can be quite deflationary, because you get, not only you avoid inflation from the dollar, but you get staking and airdrops. So you may end up with like 101 or 102 or 104 or 105% of your money. Not to mention, it's a high potential asset. I don't know what's going to happen to it, but it cannot drop more than the launch price, right? Is where it launched. Stocks can, because it's another ripoff, because arbitrary pricing. Here, I actually provided the liquidity to fund a certain amount of value. So I'm actually the market maker for this token. So it will never drop below the amount that I put liquidity, and I don't plan to take that out. So it won't drop. Like now, it's 0.001125. The lowest it can be is around 0.0093, but that's just, the tiniest of differences, right? I mean, I guess no, like I guess it went up already like 10%, but or something like that. Actually, closer to 12%. But yeah, look at that. Meteoric rise, still under still a tenth of a penny. Anyway, let me stop sharing my screen so I can stop showing this token. And I'll get to the questions. Sam says, Alex, I'm having issues at home, internet issues. I hear part of what you're saying. Please bring me up on speed someday. I'll email you, Sam. I'll email you. Sometimes the call get run long and then I'm tired and go to sleep. But if I don't get tired, I'll remember to email you. Don't worry. I'll email you maybe tomorrow and I'll tell you which part to watch. It's not ready anyway. Like the thing I'm building isn't like ready to use now, but maybe next week. I was hoping like today, I was hoping there would be fewer bugs, but ChatGPT, that Replit tool really not let me down in a way. In any case, let me read more. Javier says, yes, the providers send me the example of the guest post. Oh, yeah, I see. But that web, okay, so we'll look at it. Okay, the guest post is for another company, right. It's not for the company I'm working for. Just want to know if your opinion about it. I see what you said. Got it. So let me share my screen again. And now we're going to take a look with a fresher perspective. Okay, got it. Share screen again. Here we go. So let's examine that page and whether we should hire that freelancer guy. Did you already hire that person or are you just thinking about it? I'm very like anti-hiring unknown freelancers in SEO because I don't know, it's just like it's such a copycat like industry. Like everybody's trying to do bad ineffective strategies and outdo everybody else with ineffective strategies. I don't know why. It's just easy. It's not even hard to do the right thing. If it paid to do the wrong thing, I understand, but it doesn't even pay to do the wrong thing. It like actually pays to be a good SEO person. It's like why people want to be so bad. Do you know what I'm saying? In any case, let me share my screen and we're gonna look at post. I don't love this post already without looking at the thing. Okay. What is this website? SB Partner Hours. So we're going to go to the domain name page and we're going to look, what is this? Starbucks Partner Hour app. Okay, it's nothing to do with the environment, right? Because your business is the environment. Irrelevant. All right, that's the first check. Is the first thing we check is not relevant for you. So you don't need a website link. You don't need a backlink from here. Now, I will tell you another thing. If this person, this freelancer, has access to post articles that probably are shitty on this website from rando, unrelated businesses, right? Like your business is unrelated and this business is unrelated. EDU writer is unrelated to the topic of this website. So they're putting not garbage, but like unrelated stuff on this website. One such article is okay. Two such articles is okay. But if it's the business model, Google is going to look at it and be like, you're getting paid for this 100%. It's just like a bunch of, paid stuff. They have other ways to tell it that it's paid, but like it's paid, right? So this is already a bad, like even before I put this into a tool, what if you get a bad link from this? Again, one bad link is not a bad problem, but like if you keep getting this, if you keep hiring this individual to do your backlinks, you're going to end up in what's called, this is an official term, bad neighborhoods. Okay, it's a term that Google has, meaning you're going to be in bad neighborhoods of links. Like you're not going to be getting links from super nice, authoritative, respectable websites. Remember, expertise, authority, trust. This has nothing. No expertise about the environment, no authority about the environment, no trust about the environment, or probably anything else except Starbucks and maybe very little with that. So, no right? Not relevant, nothing good. So you're going to be in a bad neighborhood, and Google is going to see like, oh, you're getting links from this bad site, which other people, so it's like a yellow flag in Google, maybe a red flag. It's not good. It's not going to help you to be on this website at all. Okay. Now the last check that I would do, I would go on a different browser. I have SEMrush. So, oh, that's my stream. But anyway, I had that stream to check if my stream is going well. SEMrush.com. And we're going to put that URL into SEMrush. And maybe not even that page, but just like the domain name, and see if it complains. So authority score, reasonable. Organic search traffic, not great, but reasonable. Backlinks a lot, kind of. So 700 backlinks from referring domains, 131. We want to look at those domain names and the backlink. So I opened it in a new tab. Hopefully it will load soon. We can look at that. Starbucks. So it's relevant for Starbucks, right? It's ranking for Starbucks keywords. So maybe it's an old website that had content about Starbucks, but on the side, somehow this person is promoting anything else, like irrelevant stuff. So I don't know. Then organic distribution. See, usually ranking for very few things, to be honest. Almost in no position 1 to 3, mostly on page 3 to 5, right? Something like this. So mostly down deep in Google, which could indicate not necessarily a penalty, but just not a like a unpreference, no trust. Because they're, I think every time they take a paid link, they kind of don't do themselves, they get cash, but not great. Now look at these super irrelevant websites, right? So these are this report is the backlinks for this, and this report is the all, right? Okay, so you have best. What are the 17 best? This is not good at all, right? So business grow, it's a subdomain. These are subdomain links from a good domain name, but the subdomain is treated in Google as a new domain, so it's worthless. So worthless. The best ones are worthless. I don't know how, if the best links are worthless, I don't know how they have an authority score of 18. That's a mystery to me. But you see, the best links are worthless, so they're kind of a spam factory. So I would never want, if you offered me for free a blog post on this website, I would decline. So does that make sense? For free, I would decline. So I see you're thinking about potentially investing. I see. Yeah, I wouldn't buy that person, because they, and if it like, this is like their best thing that they can show you, right? Because they supposedly didn't show their best, like their worst work, right? Nobody says, here's an example of my most horrible work, right? People show you their best work, and if their best work, as you just saw, is really horrible, you don't hire that person. Like, you would never hire that person after they sent you. And if they actually can do good work, but they sent you that one, they're just kind of stupid. Like you have to ask them. I would literally ask them, that domain has horrible backlink profile, looks like it's just spam, it looks like the content is irrelevant. Why are all these factors on your website that you're trying to charge me to rank from? And they better have that's the last chance they get, is they better have a tremendous answer. But I personally would only have patience for about 10 words in their answer, because there's so many yellow flags already that, like, there's no, like, in my mind, there's no way, like 99% chance it's bad. But because you want to be patient and understanding, and you don't want to jump to conclusions, you want to give them a chance and ask why, give them a chance to explain themselves, and ask why their page has such a horrible backlink profile. But they better have a good answer, because that's the last chance. Does that make sense? This is more water, because we've crossed the Rubicon with the 2 hours mark, and now it's just party time. Maybe not so much party time, is like a nerdy party time. But I have to drink water so I don't lose my voice. And let's see. Oh, Boris has an important question about the token. Boris says, so I have to buy Sol first and then swap yours. You see, Sol is just for the transaction fee. You only need like 5 cents worth of Sol or 10 cents worth of Sol, because the transaction fee on the Solana blockchain is like right now it's between 1 and 2 pennies. It's almost nothing, right? That's why you need Sol. You need a couple of pennies of Sol. But the thing you're gonna buy my token with is your USDC. So the swap is USDC to SPRK. So what you would do is, like, let's say you wanted to buy $1 worth of SPRK, you would have 1 USDC and 5 cents of Solana in your Phantom wallet, and then you can make that transaction. You can swap the USDC for the Solana, and it will be instantaneous. Oh, party time. We actually have a transaction from Boris. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Thank you, Boris. This is a good gamble. Share screen. YouTube didn't design this very well, but the share screen button is incredibly close to the end stream button. And multiple times I almost pressed the end stream button. And one time I pressed the end stream button. Luckily, there was a dialogue. Are you sure you want to end the stream? I'm like, no. But let me share screen. Like every time I have to share screen, I got to be so careful. I'm like, don't end the stream. So, party time. You see USD, $3.51 worth of the token. And Boris, you are rich because you have 3,000 plus of SPRK token. And your transaction drove up the price. It used to be 0.001125. Now it's 0.001139. So you drove up the price. I don't even know how to read the decimal so far back, but by 0.14th of the furthest, it really has like 9 decimal points, but it doesn't even seem to be doing the 9 decimal points. It's rounding, right? So it's up to the 6th. So basically you did the 5th decimal point, 14 basis points. So thank you for the investment. I will do my absolute best to take this $3 and turn it into 300, which is actually, it's easy to do, to turn it into 30. I was thinking today, like for sure this year, like not by the end of 2025, but like a whole year. Like if I have a whole year, for sure I can take this cryptocurrency up to a penny. I think that's doable. Not a penny, sorry. The penny is a lot. No, yeah, a penny, because now it's about approximately 1/10 of a penny. So I think I can take it up to 1/10 of a penny. So I'm confusing the bejesus out of myself. I number one, need to get more sleep, and number two, I think I just need to be smarter. I keep confusing words. But maybe hydration will help. I need the brain has to work, and hydration helps. But I was thinking about it today, and now it's 1/10 of a penny, so I need to grow it 10x. But because it's such a low price token, it's not as hard to grow as something else that's hard. Like it's hard, if you're a Bitcoin, to go 10x would mean it's like hits $1 million plus this year, right? It's almost impossible. So a big asset is hard to grow 10x, but a small thing, it's easy to make 10x. But if you put $3, it would make your not $3, $3.51. But if you put that, it's easy to 10x, $35, which is a super good scratcher ticket. And because I also have like incentive because I own a bunch of these tokens too. So of course I'm going to be working hard to raise the price. So that's my goal. I'm going to try to get to within a year to like a penny, really a lot more, but at least I got to get to some milestone. And then Boris asked how I promote Spark token. So I have a few ways. I have a whole website for it, explaining. So I do a lot of like, so I do a bunch of things, but like, and I'm rolling out more. I'm actually planning to charge for that tool that you saw, the outreach tool. I'm planning to charge only in Spark token. And this kind of a tool has a lot of demand, especially like, for people who need to do like B2B sales. So, and it basically, this tool, people usually get a monthly service, and the cheapest version is like $45 a month, right? But if I get people to pay with that Spark token, I can actually make it cheaper because it's deflationary. But anyway, so I can pay, I basically offer a lot of discounts for people to buy this token because I have a lot of products to buy. So I offer a lot of discounts. And so one is from people that know me that want to buy my stuff and want to buy it for cheaper. It's through this token. That's one. Number two, I'm going to put out a lot of content on YouTube and focus my channel a lot on promoting the token. Number three, I forgot because I don't have like a list. I have like this. The outreach. So what I did, let me share my screen and I show you what I did. So this token is for like creators, entrepreneurs, and artists, right? Artsy people. And artsy people do a lot of fundraising. Like maybe, I'm sure you've heard of Patreon or Kickstarter. Those are horrible in a way. They raise money, but Kickstarter has a 5% fee, and Patreon has a 5 to 12% fee, depending on various details. And so, but it's already a paradigm that's being used, the crowdfunding, right? With cryptocurrency, I can show the math that instead of keeping, after inflation and transaction fees and whatever else fees, and like 90 or 80%, 90 or 85% of the value of your money through those platforms, with this token, not only you don't lose money, but you get the rewards like staking and airdrops, and it can actually go up, right? With the dollar, for sure, going to go down because of inflation. So I made a website, a crowdfunding website. I'll show you, where people can actually go and raise money for anything with the Spark token. So SPRKtoken.com. So people can go, and this is a website, right? So any artists, creative people, they can use this to fund their project. The best way is like, of course, you still can have a Patreon. Patreon still has a lot of benefits. But if people don't like dollars, or they have cryptocurrency, and if they're fluent in that world and they understand the benefit of cryptocurrency, or you have people outside the US who are more fluent, like a lot of people don't have online banking as adopted as people in the US, they can more easily pay with cryptocurrency. And so like on their projects, for example, here's the projects that are posted. Right now it's like pilot, right? So tip me, and you can, here's my address, right? And people can tip me right here. But whenever people tip me, that they have to buy the SPRK token first. So all of these transaction possibilities are things that I created specifically for people needing to buy the Spark token, so that it goes up in price. So I'm creating like a whole ecosystem kind of thing. And also, what I'm going to do, the reason I started building the outreach tool is I was planning to reach out to music schools and art schools, because they have, every school has like maybe 50 students, right? So if there's some progressive kind of owner who's open to cryptocurrency, they can hook their students all to raise money with cryptocurrency with this project. And then suddenly, when you have that kind of a viral effect, all of them, well, they have a link, right? Their project is posted here, so they promote this project, and their friends and family are going to get the Spark token. Basically, it's a way to make this a little bit viral. And so I've got all these strategies for promoting this token. Also, when the token gets a little momentum and the chart looks good, you've seen these charts in the stock market. some people, a lot of people actually, they don't know what the hell they're buying. But if the stock chart looks up and to the right, people are like, I want that thing. How does the company work? What does it do? It's biotech. I have no idea how to evaluate this company, but it looks up and to the right. I'm in, right? And so you get extra buying. So there's a crazy amount of FOMO in investing. Is so but that's once the chart is up. So basically I'm creating an environment where I can create a space that's like always buying, right? And people who know me, they buy my stuff, like they don't sell a lot, right? Because it's not like a stranger. So for a long time, there's not going to be a lot of sell pressure, just because it's like people know me, they kind of realize it's a longer term thing. It's not a pump and dump. So I don't anticipate a tremendous amount of sell pressure, but I am working on, it's challenging to get people to buy a crypto token, obviously, but I am working on all these ways that hopefully creates a semi-regular stream of buyers. Um, and I'm still like working hard. I'm just kind of in the beginning phases. But once a steady stream of buyers happens, the token price goes up, and then the FOMO kicks in, and then I can promote. I haven't even started promoting on actual crypto sites because those are very pump and dump. But um, those, you got to time them for like when the momentum is going good. Then promoting there, it can really spike the price. But I'm not even there yet. I'm just trying to get organic growth for it, and that's why I'm just kind of doing the grassrootsy thing, kind of like content, influencer stuff, selling my products for discounts, uh, partial begging on this call. Which, thank you for responding to my begging. I appreciate it. And by the way, if anybody else wants to buy the token, I'll don't buy it yet, but at least I can send the link to learn about it, so that it's like a legitimate thing and people don't have to be. Is this a scam? What is this thing? So it's a legitimate thing. I don't really need to scam anyone out of money. Um, where is the link to that token? Oh yeah, under videos. So I'll post a link for people who are interested. Click on that link so you have it later, so you can watch the tutorial about it. It's a very comprehensive tutorial. I try to make it not only a tutorial about the token, but like why it's good to have assets as opposed to um, dollars. So video about the SPRK token. I'll post it here in case people are curious to take a look. Token space there. Okay. Let me try to read on your. Okay, so that was a very long answer for how I promote that cryptocurrency token. If you want to know more, you can ask me more, but I just wanted to. There's another question. On your site, there is an engaging pitch. Thank you. For creators, millions of people produce electronic music at home. Ah, right. That's right. Maybe there's a way to connect Spark with this crowd somehow. Well, that's what I'm trying to tap into it, right? What I'm planning to do is use that same tool that we looked at earlier to pitch YouTubers, bloggers, podcasters, so I can get on big shows that have musicians as my listeners, right? Also, there's a way to get email addresses of YouTuber musicians because their email addresses are posted. So there's another way to promote that way. So yeah, like it would be great to get publicity and notoriety, because that if I create it's a one of a kind token, because a lot of tokens, it's the best in this field so far, in the artsy field, is like there was one music token a couple of years ago where a bunch of celebrities promoted it, like like famous celebrities that are like on TV, right? They did a pump and dump. I don't honestly know who made money or who didn't, but I'm probably sure some celebrities made money. The creators of the token made money. Investors lost money. And if you look at the stock, the token price is like a big spike to like something like $3, and then a very long gradual sell. People realizing this thing is dead and just getting out, right? So I'm not going to create something like that. Um, I plan for the long term. I don't want a big spike. I just want organic growth. And spikes, sure, I'll take them, but only when they make sense. Like through publicity And so because I'm doing this unique thing for creators, because the other reason people use creator, people say, oh, there's a lot of stuff for creators on cryptocurrency, like NFTs is for artists, but this is not really art. It's bullshit, to be honest. It's very little of that world is art. It's mostly teenagers trying to make a dollar with kitty pictures, right? Kitty memes or meme coins. Like there's a lot of that, but there's nothing legitimate for creatives. So um, if I can make some inroads, not have like a token that's a couple of weeks old that's worth like tenth of a penny, but a legitimate chart and show some use and show some pilot projects that are actually succeeding, then I can go with the case study of like, hey, like here's Boris. Boris was able to raise $1,000 with cryptocurrency, avoided inflation, got airdrops instead of $1,000, he got $1,040 or something, right? Like so, and then he was able to do this and this and this, in addition to his Patreon. So I don't think it should be a paid. Not it's not a full Patreon replacement. Patreon has great features for engagement with fans, and it's a very mature thing. But they will take at least 5% of your money, which is a feature that they have for themselves. It's not for feature. It's not a feature for you. And by yeah, so it's a compliment to Patreon, because if people hate Patreon or hate that, like people are kind of wising up to cryptocurrency precisely. I think the aha moment for a lot of people are when they realize how manipulated the what's called the fiat currency is, and how many people have like just their hands in your pockets, right? Like imagine this. Okay, you have a dollar, you don't have a dollar to get paid from your job. You had okay, tax 30% is gone, inflation another 5% is gone from the first year. You want to buy anything, okay, even if you buy with your credit card and you think, oh, I'm smart, I'm not paying a transaction fee. Yeah, but the vendor is paying a transaction fee 5%, and that's why they're making it higher for you. So you are paying that 5% of transaction fee for credit card fees. Not only that, you pay taxes on the sales tax, and when you die, you still get taxed. It's like buy a house, you get taxed. The, your dollar is worth. You take home so little. Not only it loses money, but you take home so little of a hard earned, like legitimately hard earned dollar, that when you really like do oh shit, personal finance. How do I retire? Oh, it's impossible. Every time I breathe, I get taxed. Then you're like, oh, cryptocurrency, because there's no sales tax when you buy stuff with cryptocurrency. There's no transaction fees, like penny, right? You saw. Um, so not only that, the rewards you earn are like legitimate. Um, yes, there's like crazy risks with cryptocurrency. If you mismanage it, you can just lose it. Nobody's going to recover it for you. I mean, there are ways to recover it, but the custody of cryptocurrency is like a huge topic. Like everybody should know how to handle, store their cryptocurrency, right? Um, so there is more responsibility. There's a higher learning curve, but it becomes worth it when people see, oh my god, like if you like sit down with ChatGPT on your own time and be like, which name all the taxes that the U.S. government taxes, right? What is the sum for my bracket? What is the sum for my state? If you own a house, property tax, sales tax, income tax. If you own a business, whatever business gets taxed. Um, Other taxes that I cannot even think about because it's not a thought I want to entertain anyway. Tax. But then it's like, okay, how do I get out of this system, and how do I actually personally finance? Like, and then cryptocurrency has no problems. Like, people say like a house is a good idea, but yeah, there's so much upkeep. Always goes up in price because it's measured against the dollar, which always goes down. But property tax stuff breaks. It's just upkeep. You want okay, gold. Is gold a good investment? Not really, because they say there's a finite amount of gold, but because of technology, people are getting so good at mining gold and discovering more gold reserves that the idea of scarcity of gold is not true anymore at all. There's obviously it's finite, but it's not really, because there's more of it keep getting found. Bitcoin, for example, there's never more than 21 million, right? So it's never going to be actually more. Other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, like Spark, okay, there can be more, but this kind of thing. So, um, that's how people start. That's the long answer of how people start getting into the shock of like, oh God, when I hold a dollar, the value of it erodes so rapidly. The buying power is just so below the actual number. $100 buying power is $40 worth. Um, so then that pushes people into cryptocurrency. Uh, so if you're raising money for like the music that you're making, right? You would have a Patreon and Spark, and the you would give them both options and explain that you really only get, you know, just forget inflation, forget tax. Uh, Patreon takes between 5 and 12%, like when you want to get your money out. So to preserve the value of your money, you want to explain to, if you have a chance to explain to your donors or people who want to tip you, right? Because you can also collect tips. Like every job can collect tips. I'm experimenting with this now, where at the end of some courses, I put like, "Hey, you want to tip me? Okay, you can tip me $1. It's fine." People haven't been particularly uh, enthused about tipping me, and they haven't like run to tip me in droves, because it's like I only ask it for like at the very end of the course, at the last video. Most people never even get there. But I kind of trying this stuff now just to see how it will work, what people's appetite is. And um yeah, so basically, long story short, you can also collect tips, but also like every creator, you know yeah, tips from fans, but also donations. And the donations, if you see that the person is like very, very low tech and maybe impatient, just take the dollars and take it and say thank you. But if you see that somebody's work is open to spending a little money, either they're fluent in cryptocurrency already, or they don't, they're tech savvy, they don't mind learning about it, I think you want to suggest the Spark token, or really, honestly, any other token. But the tokenomics of the Spark token is designed to be deflationary and to actually give rewards, because it's like made with the artist in mind. Um, Also, because it's so early, the risk reward is a crazy bet, right? If it's like 100x versus zero. Okay, you put $5, it might become 100x or zero. You take that bet any day of the week, right? So at the moment, it's a high potential asset because it's early and all this stuff. So it yeah. But the caution I would give is, if you are raising money and somebody's like not very tech savvy, or they're really struggling to buy it for one reason or another, you actually don't want to, you want to say, let's stop it, use dollars instead, because you sometimes can lose a person to frustration. Anytime you're making a sale, if it's not easy, you're going to lose some people to the process. So if you see that there's any chance of losing the person to the complexity of the process, to the time it takes, dollars. Everybody else, cryptocurrency. But so it's really at the moment a complement, to not a replacement to Patreon. Patreon also has great features, because subscribers are not just one-time subscribers. They stay subscribed maybe every month this year, maybe next year. At the moment, I don't have that option for Spark token. So because it's one time, people might give a bigger amount, because people realize, oh, it's monthly on Patreon. Oh, monthly. I don't want it to be a big sum. But while people are feeling good, they're like, oh, okay, I can do a nice one-time payment, one-time donation. So it's different ways, but it's a great supplement though. Like, it's really necessary, because like there's like 30 countries in the world where like online banking is like not a big thing, and most people, even if they wanted to pay you a tip, um, pay you for something else, send you money, it's hard for them actually with banks, right? So it's a good supplement. Uh, What else should we discuss? I had a whole huge agenda. I had a really gigantic agenda for this call. Let me find it. I have it written down. Let's see. So the digital marketing hack, the newsy thing didn't work today. I think I've got to go for news that, like, I think I need to build more of an expert, but I have expertise. Like, the thing is, I'm referencing that experiment we ran earlier on this call where, like, I wasn't ranking in any of the live searches or any of the searches that I tried to get this call to rank for. I wasn't ranking in any of those. Maybe, you know what? One more try. Let me check if anybody has questions. And if nobody has questions, I'll do one more marketing hack try. Nobody has questions. So let me show you what I can do. So I'm going to share screen and then look at the SEO that I did for this video. And I think I missed my chance because in the title, I spent a lot of space. Alex Genadinik, Q&A, Udemy instructor. None of this, it's not keywords. Topics, that's not keywords. But the only keywords I was able to add is AI agent with Replit. So let me see if Replit, first of all, I'm going to go, incognito window. Incognito window, YouTube. I don't know if you're able to see my incognito window. Should be able to, but I'm just going to search Replit. So Replit is the, for people who are just joining, Replit is the AI tool. And I'm not ranking for in the live. Come on. No love for me, even from a main thing. How about AI agent, Replit AI agent? Those are the keywords that are in my title. Okay. What's a sad song that I can hum along? Oh yeah, if you can see my screen, this is my screen. No, but this is actually, oh my God, this is so dumb. This is a live stream, which is not this live stream. This is a live stream which ran 2 days ago, on which I had super technical difficulties and I couldn't get it to work. I don't know if anybody joined that one, but I was doing it with a guest and I was trying to connect two people and I had a bunch of technical difficulties and it looked like this, which was bad. And this is ranking, but nothing else is ranking. This is really bad. Come on, YouTube. That's just bad results. Like, that video should be the last one ranking because it wasn't even good. Scroll. I'm just going to try to scroll until I find me, or next year will happen. Whichever happens first, next year or finding me. Okay, I think one more scroll. I'm not coming up, so I'm going to close this window. So that was sad because I thought if my keywords are in the title, you see AI agent with Replit. What if, okay, last thing. What if I just do this, okay? And then use the incognito window. And if this doesn't rank, I don't know what to say because, like, should rank for that. New incognito window, YouTube. And I don't know if you can see the incognito window. So I'm not ranking in the first one, two. Nope. This live stream is not ranking at all. Why? This is 2 days ago live stream. Why no love? No love. Oh, you know what? We got to get to the bottom of this. We have to ask ChatGPT why this happened. Before I do that, I want to check. Okay, everybody's still with me. No comments. So I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'm going to tell it, hey, I made a live stream with these. I made a live stream on YouTube with this title. And let's put it in quotes so that this description. So I'm going to take the description and I'm going to ask it, why am I not ranking? This is preposterous. This is horrible. let's see, back to the, can you tell I like checking the token price? Anyway, I need a different window. Where was I? ChatGPT. This is the description, and the question will be, I also added a bunch of tags in the tag section, but this live stream is not ranking for a single one of these in YouTube. Can you explain why? Actually, it should just be why. Because it costs money for ChatGPT. If you add more words, it costs them more in parsing. So if you write like thank you or have a nice day or that was nice or whatever, like that actually hurts them more than helps because they're paying for that. Okay, let me check very quickly how we are doing. Okay, everybody's back to ChatGPT and see. All right, live streams have different ranking behavior. Yeah, I thought it was ranking more easily. YouTube doesn't always index live streams as quickly as thoroughly as pre-recorded videos, especially if the stream was short. No, the stream is not only long, it has a crazy average duration because many people have been here already for like almost 3 hours, which is actually like really pretty good for a live stream. If there was not much viewer engagement, likes, watch time, chat activity, there was some. I mean, I think a lot for the number of people who were on. If it hasn't processed into a VOD version yet. Now, this is what the hell is this? I'm not sure about. I'm skeptical about this thing. Okay, fix. Give it 24 to 48 hours after ending the stream. Once it's processed as a VOD, it becomes eligible and broader visibility. Yeah, I know. That's what happened to that bad stream that I saw, which I should probably delete because it was pretty bad. But that doesn't help me while I'm live. Now, number two, your title may be too long or general. I agree. I think this is a problem. Next time, I will make one super specific. I agree with that. You included many buzzwords. I know. I'm trying to stuff keywords, like that marketing person. Of course, I'm going to stuff keywords. It's in my DNA. I've been doing it for 20 years. Like, leave me alone, ChatGPT. I know what I'm doing. I know my fault, right? Like, I did that. Okay. So maybe because I was trying to be too ambitious, I put too many different keywords. So I should make it like next stream would be like one topic and that's it. Okay. So next stream will be one topic like how to do B2B sales with or I'm just going to do a topic like Replit AI agent. And I better rank for this. Otherwise, ChatGPT is in trouble. Okay, let's look for more reasons. Okay, that was a good reason, actually. I buy that. I think I tried too hard and I made it kind of spammy and disfocused, and I think it suppressed it unnaturally. Okay, I can see it. Now, Q&A and aren't search terms, I know. Replit vibe coding is people, yeah, I know. I was trying for that. Keywords like AI agent and SEO are buried in the description, not emphasized, right? Because I spent too much time on my own like title and all this. Okay, good. How to build? Yeah. Okay, so next time yeah. That's what it's telling me, right? Like have this kind of relevant, yeah, low click-through rate and watch time. It's possible. It's possible if YouTube tests your live stream in the algorithm and people don't click the thumbnail title enough. Stay to watch at least a few minutes. Yeah, maybe YouTube deprioritized it. I wonder why. And then the broad competitive. I think the broad competitive keyword is the easiest thing to fix. And the thumbnail is the second easiest. Okay. Well, it's a little late. Help rewriting it. A little late, ChatGPT. Where were you when I needed mind reading? instead of answering questions. All right. So I think we did a good job with that, because I think next time we have a new strategy for this, for how to rank in the Google live searches. So I'll try it. It'd be very exciting. Maybe I'll do it like next Thursday. Next Thursday seems reasonable. I get 4 emails that I get, like educational emails, which are emails that I per month that I get to use on Udemy to tell students that I have a live stream. And I already used 3, so I can do 1 more this month, and then I can do another live stream anytime, but I won't be able to inform anyone. So that's an issue. But it's only the 10th. So I also get some promotional announcements, but that's unrelated. I can't send announcements to live streams through that. Let me get some water. Does anybody else have any ideas or thoughts or things they want to talk about? I know I've been yapping for a long time. It's like mostly a one-man show for 3 hours. I needed. I had a partner, a sidekick, but I had technical difficulties technical difficulties with him last time, so we're going to fix it on our own and then come back with him later. So what else should we discuss? Let's see. The other thing I wanted to discuss is finding news topics, but they're like so weird in the business entrepreneurship space. It's not a lot of newsy things. Somebody gave a thumbs up. Thank you. I don't usually ask for a thumbs up because I thought like it's such an outdated thing, right? You know, everybody on YouTube is like, comment, thumbs up. Like, really? Is it like, you think YouTube still uses that as a high priority? They can't tell if your video is good on their own. But I guess the thumbs up helps. I appreciate it. Let's see what else. Let me check the agenda I had for more topics. Nobody's chatting anymore. Everybody fell asleep. So we talked about Replit and vibe coding. We talked about LLM SEO. Not so much, but we kind of touched on it. Progress of the SPRK token. That was super great. Thank you, Boris. We made even more progress. Discussion of AI agents and custom GPT. Oh, we should talk about custom GPT. That's a super cool topic. All right, I see. Thank you, Boris. Just be careful. You know, I should say it's a risky thing, and even though I'm excited about it, don't buy too much. Unless it grows up, then I don't. But the other thing I really want to talk about is this super cool thing related to building AI agents. If you do buy it, I'll give you what you'll have like free access to that tool, so you can try it. I don't know how you can use that tool because you need outreach to fencing people, to clients. We can think about how it can be used. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, in addition to ChatGPT and creating AI agents, there's a related topic of, oh, somebody else gave a thumbs up. Thank you. I don't know who gives a thumbs up. It doesn't tell me. Don't think like I don't mention you by name because I'm not appreciative. I just don't know. I get like a little number of thumbs up, but I don't know who did it. But anyway, so in addition to AI agents, there's a whole thing. It's super popular, creating your own custom GPTs. And I was gonna do it next week, but I think it might have to wait because this week I was planning to finish that freaking tool, but it's having so many bugs related to like just stupid bugs that I'm debugging this thing so much that it's kind of pushing me back a little bit, which is a little sad. But what I wanted to do is finish this AI agent and create a custom GPT, which apparently is super easy. The reason you can use a custom GPT is like, actually, Boris, you can use this because let's say somebody goes to your website and you know that chat pop-up comes up like, hey, how are you doing? How can you help? How can we help? Well, you can make it with AI by training it on all of your business. So you can make it smart. Like, hey, did you know that fencing is great for college tuitions? Did you know that you burn 500 calories per hour? Did you know that it's super safe and injury free? Um, anyway, blah, 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 right? You can say this kind of things and you can train it on your pricing, on your open hours. And that's the point of having a custom GPT is you can train it on your own business to sell and provide customer support with zero cost, just like pennies. Um, oh, I have another business, digital marketing, and I have product to sell to local breweries and distillery. Oh, okay. Alrighty, merch, and I want to sell. Okay, you want to sell a lot of stuff. Okie dokie. So this could be useful. It sounds like you're going to be the user which is going to use the thing, and I'm going to wake up and it's like I have a bill of $5,000. So I have to figure out. I need a few days to figure out uh, how much all of this is going to cost me per user, and then I need to figure out because it's easy to be like reach out to the whole country. I can see myself send 100,000 emails. Um, I would have an appetite for this. I'm like I kind of sometimes like to do marketing aggressively, but anyway, we'll take it slowly. We'll take it easy. I'm sure there will be bugs enough to not let you do it. Like I have to actually make it work first. That's harder. I think if you can, I think if I schedule the next office hours for next Thursday, and if you join next Thursday, we can do a live demonstration of that thing. And if it doesn't crash, I will be able to grant some access to people who want to use it, especially people who buy the token. Um, I'll grant free access. Because that's what I'm planning to do for that tool anyway. I might just paywall be like, you can't pay with dollars. You can only pay with cryptocurrency. Because I don't want to pay tax this, tax that, transaction fee this, credit card fee that. Like I'm tired of that. You charge like $50, but then you only keep like 20. Woohoo. And then you spend $25 on server fees, and you're like, oh, I lost money. How did that happen? And then you have to charge more for the clients, and then inflation happens. Anyhow, one more water sip. It's not even water. It's my mature sparkling water. When you're become refined or old, you drink sparkling water. It's hard to talk for 3 hours. But I'm amazed we still have topics. But yeah, so I hope by next Thursday. The super cool thing with this vibe coding is I can do it on the go anywhere. I can do it like today I was walking on the treadmill. Yesterday I was just walking around. I can do it like in a store, like test the website, make a comment to AI, like fix this, let it work. Then I go buy my groceries in a store, finish the groceries, it's done. That kind of thing. So I can do it on the go. And instead of listening to like stupid stuff like podcasts or, when people are bored these days, they listen to like podcasts, but also like stuff that they don't even care anymore, that's boring, but they just keep listening because it's like, entertainment. This is at least like useful. So I'm going to probably replace a lot of my entertainment with this and be super mad at it, get overcharged like crazy past my all the like thresholds that I have to overpay to Replit. But then I'm going to make this tool. I can just picture myself with my kids on the playground. I'm doing the like, not being a present father, and all the other parents are like, this is the worst father. He's just on his phone. The kids are like falling, they're bleeding, they're falling off the like things on the playground. And I'm like, just 1 second. Yeah, I know you're crying, but I just gotta finish. Just gotta press send to Replit, and and then I can do your boo boo. Um, Another project. I'm reading the comment. Another project, STEM. I'm already running it and need to reach out to private schools. I see. All right, let's pilot this thing. I think by Thursday, I'm gonna try very hard to make it like a good usable tool. I'll try. I can't promise, because the level of stupid bugs that I encountered in the last 2 days has been very, very discouraging. And until I can find a common language with this dumbass tool, it's like really like a drunk person. 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 1 step to the left. Yeah, your plate. Yeah, you have a lot of stuff on your plate. Um, but yeah, this tool. Uh, Once I get all the bugs out, then hopefully by Thursday we can figure out some use cases, and I can give you access to it, and we can do even like live demonstrations with your business on the call, which would be pretty cool. Of course, I'm sure we'll discover new bugs, but at least like if it works, wow, it works. Uh, and if it works, all of us are getting rich. And I think if it works, the next thing is I'm going to wrap up the work with once I get this tool to a good stopping point, I can kind of just program it slowly, but little by little. And what I'm going to want to build is a custom GPT. I wanted to show you about the custom GPT because I only started researching it recently, but it's really cool because you can train it on all your business information, and it can do your sales, and it can do your support for without having to hire anybody, and really good too. And the cool thing is, I was going to give the ability to connect your custom GPT to this tool, the outreach tool, so that the outreach tool can handle any sales objection, can handle support, right? It's like a super tool after it's trained on this GPT, right? After it's trained about your business. So, like, whatever this thing is now, the outreach tool, it will be like so much crazier, more robust. The only thing is I've got to get past the stupidity of Replit, because Replit has been like really disappointing me the last couple of days. I literally wrote to Replit. I'm like, if you give me one more bug, I'm gonna close this and go to base 44, which is the competitor. And I'm literally writing this to the AI. And then it kind of got scared a little bit, because it was like, I'm gonna do a deeper search for the problem, because a lot of times it like writes to me, I can see what the problem is. Here's the fix. Deploy the fix. I deploy the fix. The fix is still there. So a lot of stuff is like this. Like, why didn't you like, if it was like a programmer, like a real person, you wouldn't know what to do with them. They'd be like a genius who needs to get fired. Like I'll never have as a smart person again that I would hire. But whoa. Oh, I see. I have another comment. My partner is writing code by hand for AI assistant. That's a nightmare. We do specifically for business management, fencing club. Fencing. We have a very bad word as a nickname for ChatGPT. How come you don't like ChatGPT? It doesn't work well for you? What can be a good nickname for ChatGPT that's funny? I have one which is not funny. I call them the bros. Perplexity, Claude, Google AI, ChatGPT, the bros. But it's not so funny. Is ChatGPT terrible for coding assistants? They only launched like a Replit competitor 1 week ago or so. But Replit is also like super frustrating. I have a friend who uses something called Base 44. He likes it. He says it's really good. I would not recommend. I would recommend, and I wouldn't recommend Replit. Like I would recommend it because I am able to create the stuff in like hours compared to months. But at the same time, it's so frustrating. What's so terrible about ChatGPT? Let me check. It pretends to code, and quite often codes are not compatible with current platform, and that's just a part of the platform. Yeah, I had a similar experience, kind of, with ChatGPT, but like when I was creating this cryptocurrency, the token, I there's obviously no code solutions for it, but a lot of them are banned in America because of Biden administration. Like they were super anti um, crypto, and so they banned a lot of the stuff. So a lot of it is like you cannot use it in the United States. You could use it if you use a like something to mask your IP, like a VPN. But I didn't do it, so I had to do command line creation of this token. And there's a lot of commands, and ChatGPT was sending me down the wrong rabbit hole after wrong rabbit hole. Like it was giving me commands, but like it was like spinning and spinning me in cycles. It took me like a long time to make progress. So yeah, I had a kind of a bad experience with ChatGPT writing me scripts, like command line stuff that's complicated. Instead of saving time, we spend more time finding its deficiency. Yeah, a lot of times it's a problem. Yeah. Um, with Replit, I do save an insane amount of time. Like it really unlocks me. Without Replit, I couldn't make that Spark token website and the crypto and the fundraising features. Without Replit, I could never make this. I mean, I could make it, but like it would take me 3 months, which means I couldn't make it because I can't afford the 3 months. Then my course business would die if I don't like upkeep the courses and all this. And then if I upkeep the courses, I don't have time to code. So technically, it's possible, but it will be impossible. So Replit really did open up. I think what you have to do is do like me, where I like program on the go, because sit in front of a computer and doing Replit, I get so frustrated with it. Like it always does things, not always, but there's so many problems that like that writes imperfect code or chooses imperfect or not elegant coding solutions that are like error prone later, or doesn't use best practices. Sometimes it's like really good at doing best practices, but sometimes it's just like not good. So blah. um so um for that reason, uh I still appreciate Replit, even though it's kind of making me tear my hair out in some way. But now, honestly, I stopped listening to like a lot of the dumb stuff I used to listen online, like podcasts that are like okay, not great, but just because I'm bored or something. Like if I don't have anything to do, if I go exercise, I would like go for a walk, listen to a podcast. But like a lot of them, like the quality drops really quickly. So not much to listen to that I know. So I'm like, all right, at least I'm gonna do my own vibe coding. Actually, it's like more enjoyable in a way, because sometimes just like close to bumping into people, but besides that point. Yeah, I, I don't know how to fix the terrible mistakes. It really makes terrible mistakes. I think you have to find a way to be so patient with it. It's like you're talking to an idiot who's smart. Which one is which depends on the minute, you know. But like somehow you've got to find a way to not like artificially be patient, not just like patient for a few minutes, but like make it in a setting or only do it when you have time. Like you don't have to stress out, you know, because then it's okay. But if you're really rushing to release something, I think Replit is not the solution. Or, but again, I have a friend who likes base 44, so maybe it's better. I was literally going to try base 44 today. I was going to quit. Like it was like 2 hours on a treadmill trying to fix one bug. And then as you saw, the auth bug is still not totally fixed. By the way, what time do you think we should go to sleep? This call is getting long, like 3 hours. Anytime. Okay. This is specific and also vague. Uh, let's see. What should we discuss? We actually we have a good plan for next week. Oh, right. I keep trying to get to the. Let's spend 5 minutes on this. The custom GPT. Let me share my screen because I was asking ChatGPT earlier today how to create a custom GPT. Actually, yesterday. Let me see how to create a custom GPT. It turned out it's kind of easy. And then yesterday I talked to my friend and he said he knows people who charge existing companies like $30,000 to create a custom GPT for them. So obviously that got me interested. So it gave me very simple instructions last time because I think all you have to do is just like clone it kind of. I never really loved these side-by-side answers, but I don't have to read double of the thing. So you see there's this ChatGPT, the OpenAI GPTs. So let's go there. GPTs. Did I not copy anything the way I'm supposed to? So the GPTs. Hi, I'll help you build a new GPT. You can say something like, make a creative who helps generate visuals for new products, okay? Or make a software engineer who helps format code. This is what we need. Make a good software engineer. So I would say make a salesperson and a customer service agent who knows a lot about, who's very caring about clients and knows a lot about my thing. And I would feed them the information. And then you can preview it. Well, if I wasn't tired, I would try it out. But let's see what ChatGPT says. There's more instructions. Explore the GPTs to create. Okay, create GPT builder. AI will guide you. Step 3, configure instructions. Yeah, file, uploads, API access, easy peasy. Branding, easy peasy. Publish, keep private, easy peasy. This is like 20 minutes of work. Maybe not 20 minutes because I would have to find the documentation to create this ChatGPT GPT. But then, interesting. Well, oh, yeah, I am sleepy. So my hope is that I will finish this agent software soon, move on to the GPT software after that. And I had something else planned. Already forgot. Okay, I guess I didn't have anything else planned. This is the most productive thing, is just to forget what you have to do. Eh. All right. Let's spend 10 more minutes and then we're going to sleep. Should we discuss anything? is in, let me ask you, in fencing, if you're fencing somebody and they're like lanky and they have long arms, it's not by weight class, right? Like fencing is not, you can be a small person fencing a big person, because the big person will just reach you before you can get to them. And then it's like, I guess you would have to fence their sword, spear. How do you call it? Rapier? As you can see, I've done fencing all my life. Um, you attack not the body, but the arm. Yeah, you're right. Um, saber, epi. Okay, saber sounds good. Sounds manly, masculine. Say my saber. I have a saber. I'll show you. I know you probably have seen many sabers in your life, and it's hard to impress you, but probably you're very impressed now. I play with my kids, and then my wife gets mad at me, like, "Why are you teaching the children to fight?" Yeah, he's the best. I'm pirate, Captain Hook, unknown, lightsaber, except something else, different lightsaber. Walgreens, $3 each. It wasn't marked at like $3, because usually I go to Walgreens and my kids ask for stuff, and I'm like, if it's not labeled, it's gonna be like $20 for some piece of plastic, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to pay $20 for this, and then it's like $3.99. I'm like, wow, because we lived in like a super overpriced area, like New Jersey, Hoboken. It's like stupid prices, like, oh, a little toy, $20, and then like, no, don't make me buy this toy. And it's like, oh wow, $3.99. We have three of them, one for me, one for my two kids. And then my wife gets mad. She's like, why are you teaching the children? And the children are having fun, and I'm having more fun. So that's my sabers. I'm ready. I'm ready. I keep trying to teach my kids to stand like this, and on guard and not let people pass. Like, don't let I teach them, don't let anybody bother me. Stay guard. And if anybody comes close, you say, what's your business here? I'm trying to teach them how to protect me from anybody bugging me. But since they're mostly the ones bugging me, it's not quite working out. But it's cute. Yeah, these are soft. They're plush. When they smack me, it doesn't really hurt. So they smack harder, and it starts to hurt, but it's not bad. I can take it. I can take it. But yeah, I see the idea of spearing the hands. I think it's like same in a way in like a lot of I don't know if you watch boxing, but there was a recent boxing match between uh this guy Bivol and this guy Beterbiev. I don't really watch a lot of boxing sometimes, but the thing about that thing is this bitter blah blah blah. better BF guy, he had like a crazy power. And so the other guy was boxing his hands first. He was boxing, sometimes you punch a hand, punch the other hand, and then you're in. And you have a split second to deliver your punches. So I saw a lot of this kind of thing of like trying not to get punched. But that's beside the point. Okay, I think one thing, so maybe I'll see you next week and we'll try to use that tool. One thing I experimented with, because I'm trying to have like longer session times on this thing. Is it possible? I don't know when you finish your evening if you turn your computer off, but in case you don't turn your computer off, can I just leave the stream running and then I'll turn it off in the morning or something so that it makes the stream longer? I noticed a couple of times when I did that, it made my session time super long. And the next sessions were like a little more popular. I don't know, like YouTube was giving me a little more discovery. Yeah, punching the hands to remove the defense for sure. But yeah, if I don't know, if you turn your computer off, it's not a problem. But if you don't turn your computer off, yeah, if you can just leave it on and then I'll wake up and turn the live stream off, that would be cool. But I think I'm gonna go save my voice, brush my teeth, and go to sleep because it's been a long time today. So, should we say goodnight? As I said that, another person joined the stream. Who joined the stream just now? Introduce yourself. Just kidding. All right, good night. And whoever joined now, also good night. But what you can do is start from the beginning because there was like over 3 hours of actually pretty cool live stream. We did a crazy amount of things. So I think the idea, start from the beginning, this live stream, because it has a lot of stuff. All right, good night. And until tomorrow. Thank you. I appreciate it. It was great. Thank you. It's very nice having you back. You skipped some of them, but I think it was more fun on Zoom. I know. I might come back to the Zooms, but right now I'm trying to get my YouTube a little bit more. I see the wave. I got it. Yeah, I'm trying to get my YouTube going a little bit. Partially because if I figure out how to get like YouTube people to the live streams, not just people who join from Udemy, then I'm able to promote that SPRK token more, right, to new audiences. And of course, as a new and proud holder and investor of the SPRK token, you can deeply appreciate it. Thank you again for getting some, by the way. But yeah, now I'm working for you. I guess the shareholders are the boss. So I'm working for you to raise your value. And that's why I'm going to be doing a few more live streams so that trying to get them more popular. So that one day, hopefully, we get like 100 people or 200 people, kind of this sort of thing, which is very, very possible on YouTube as soon as it starts giving me a little bit more love. Now, we have 5 people on the stream. Who are you guys? Because it's been 3 hours and a half almost. Yeah, thank you. That's actually maybe like good for sharing. Like if I ask people to share, that would be a fun. That would be good. Maybe so. Next time, maybe we'll do something like that. Last chance. People who just joined, welcome. Are you just joining from Udemy or YouTube? Where are you joining from? Do you have any questions? We're about to wrap up. Like 1 more minute. But if you want to comment, if you want to chime in, if you want to ask any questions, we can stay longer. But if you're quiet in the chat, we're going to go. But if you're quiet in the chat, then we go. Just go back to the beginning. ChatGPT is in the stream. Oh, Tom K. Tom. Hello, Tom. Tom, have you been in this session the whole time? And I also don't know if I'm delayed because I know with that like OBS studio, it like the delay is like 15 seconds. But I don't know when I get a delay. Oh, not the whole time. Oh, Australia. Yeah. It's morning in Australia. You can spend your whole day with me this way, because if you go to the beginning, it's like a 3 hour. No, not that you would ever want to do that. Um, what kind of things are you working on, Tom? And which course are you in? I'm assuming you're a Udemy student of mine. Learn more about marketing. Okay. What kind, like which specific? Because we can talk a lot about it. We actually talked a lot about it today. If you look, you have a small business. Okay, so do you need like local maps, local SEO, that kind of thing? Insurance brokering. Oh, you know what? Because I'm generous today, I'm going to send you a free course. Are you in my local business course? Because that's the one I wanted to send. That's the one I think is like makes sense for you. So I'm going to send you a free coupon because it's the end of the call and we had a nice time. I'm feeling generous. And so I think I can send you this coupon. It's my local SEO course. Oh, so you're not in any course. You're just joining. You just found this on YouTube. If you just found this on YouTube and you're doing a local business like insurance, and you're trying to find clients, the link that I sent you has a coupon at the end to make it free to enroll in like a online like local marketing course, which is your business is a local business, so it's a fit. It doesn't mean like, you know, it's exactly what you need for a insurance brokering business because it's such a unique thing, but it may help. By the way, there's a bunch of new people who joined. Welcome. Introduce yourself. Tell me if you're joining from YouTube or from Udemy, because we're kind of having a joint call. And if you have any questions or want to chat about anything, we were wrapping up, but since like a small wave of people just joined, I'm like, okay, let's stay. Oh yeah, Udemy. So from Udemy, yeah. I have the same problem. As I get older, I forget. I was complaining about that on this call. I was like, I'm having too many signs. I'm forgetting. I'm liking sparkling water. That's the sign, right? Forgetful and sparkling water is, it means you're like older. And who are other flaws or uh, improvements? It's a feature, not a bug. I'm losing memory. It's like, I have to do less things now. I forgot what I have to do. It's a fantastic feature. That's why it's golden years. Don't want to do anything? You can actually, I believe you can just say, I forgot. And people will stop questioning that at certain age. People will be like, yeah, they're old. They forgot. Don't want to do anything? I forgot. And at certain age, you get punished for that. But at certain age, you're like, well, I'm sorry you forgot. You know, your early dementia onset is I'm sorry to hear that. Names of the kids. You know, the funny story. I forgot their middle names because we named it like some name of one of my wife's great grandmas, and I'm like, yeah, I forgot. You know, I just forgot. And somebody asked me one day, like, hey, what is the middle names of your kids? And I'm like, Jesus, wait, they have middle names? Like, I hope one day ChatGPT, when they grow up, and they will Google for like, what is all the stupid things my dad did, and what did he say? Summarize it. Was it anything about us? And of course, this will come up. It'll be like, this guy forgot your middle names. So they'll find it and they'll be like, we knew it. We knew it. We knew it. And then but I'm older now. I can forget. Anyway, that's the story. But yeah, try that. Maybe you're already enrolled in that course, but try that local marketing course. It should be helpful for a brokerage business because, like insurance broker, it's like local. You get clients locally. So, yeah. Unless you want to chat about something now. Well, I was gonna head to sleep. Yeah, and I was gonna do another office hours like next Thursday, but don't come at this time because at this time where I am, it's 11:25 p.m. Like I have to go to sleep. So earlier, and then we can. Um, it's usually I think you would have had fun earlier in this call because you're very lively in the chat, and we had like a few people chatting back and forth, and I think it would have been a better time for you because it's not so early in Australia, right? It's like morning, but closer to afternoon, right? 14 hours from where I am, I think. I don't know. All right. I think maybe I'll go to sleep. Let's see. I will learn a bit and ask more questions. Yeah, next week. Oh, it's middle of the day for you. Maybe it's not the best time because you actually have to like do your day. Um, but okay. Let me say good night because I've been on this for 3.5 hours now. I gotta go to sleep. Good night. I hopefully see you next Thursday. And if you go through that course a little bit, uh, then you have questions, we can chat about it. I'll leave the stream on just because I'm trying to get more watch time. If you can leave it on, that's also going to be helpful. If unless you need the browser tab, but if you don't have that, if you're just leaving your computer on, let it play or start from the beginning. Because in the beginning we had I had a crazy good agenda. We touched on like all the cutting edge things. But thank you again for joining and good night, and I'll go to sleep. Oh, I'm going to check one more thing that probably didn't change, but still at the computer. We talked about, if you'll see in the call, we'll talk about this cryptocurrency token that I launched, and somebody on the call bought it, which was super cool. And I share screen in that so you can see. So I just checked. Oh, it's very like when you have your own token, it's like a stock price, but like you have more interest in it as opposed to some stock. So like I'm in like OCD refreshing, refresh, even though that site refreshes by itself. So that's the sad state here. Oh wow. Hey Sam, good night. And Boris, you created your own GPT. That's crazy. That's amazing. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, train it on your business so you can sell and do customer service on your website. In the least, I think it's super easy. All right. One more time, if you can leave this stream on, that would be great. Good night. I'll see everybody soon. Thank you, of course, for joining and staying with me all evening. I think anything would be more fun than this. So thank you, thank you for sticking with me. Cool. Yeah, thank you for sticking with me. I'll do some heart 100 and party time. This was a different kind of party time, but party time nonetheless. Okay, I think now I am really gonna go to sleep. Okay, that's it. I'm really going and not coming back.